Yo, bros. It's starting. It's starting, is. Could you not wait like 30 seconds, really? What if I just wanted to take in the, you know, the platinum tunes, huh? No? Legally not allowed? I get it. I get how it is. I get how it is. So yes, this is part 2 of the coaching live stream that we did. What date was it actually? I've got it open somewhere. January the 2nd. It is now February the 24th. So like a month and a half, yes. But at least we're here now. I don't fully remember exactly where we left off last time. But of course today is all about going through things in the DML team advice chat in the Discord and giving advice to other DML players for anything that they need in their teams, whether it's dungeon related, sigil related, sigil map battles, blah 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 blah. So yes, as quackalakes has said, post your teams in the chat in our Discord server if you want us to do the coaching session with your team. But hello Chara, hello Black Killer, hello One Punch Man, Wizardly, yes, I remember you, Evan. Hello, how have you all been? You all been good? You all been fantastic? Lovely, lovely. So I guess I should go back to the regular display now. Hello my friends, hello my friends. So you're already in the Discord server, that's great. But it depends on whether you want to post your team. Obviously you don't have to post your team, and you know, there may be a little bit of scrutiny happening with some people's teams, but none of it's for the sake of bully. I'm not gonna bully. It's just to try and make people actually be able to progress further, do more things in game. So, you had a great day. That's lovely. I'm glad, Wizardly. Hello, RHB. I hate the fact that it's really hard to get food. It does feel like that in the beginning, but later on it's like, I've got more food than I know what to do with. But that's the same with any game that you play for a really long time, I guess. Hello, Puna. How are ya? And Dawson. I always see you around, Dawson. So, yes, like I said, we are going to be going through this Discord server. Why is the scary platinum music playing? It's like, da, 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 we're going to do your team. Buh, buh, buh. Anyway, like I said, we're going to go through the DML team advice chat, go through all the various screenshots. If any screenshots are just incredibly low quality, I probably won't bother. Because it hurts my eyes, so I just don't want to do it. How are we all? I hope we're all good. I hope we're all good. But anyway, this one was posted way back when in January, I believe, on the day of the old live stream. But I wanted to go through this one first in particular because this is basically a show of not using these dragons efficiently, because in this team we have exactly what we need. We have Divine and we have Ancient. So if we have a Divine and an Ancient, really you only need 2 dragons. In here we've got 3 because we've got 2 Divines and an Ancient. That's also fine, but obviously that's going to require more resources. The biggest problem here is that the Divines don't have Wonder Acceptance. In fact, only Artoba has acceptance. Which is weird. Because if we're going to go with a 3-dragon team like this, then really every single dragon should have acceptance. At least the one that's going to use the Bless should have the Wonder, and all of the others, including the one that uses it, should have acceptance. So we could do this either with the Changi being the Blesser and blessing the other 2 with Wonder Acceptance, and then Nessa would probably have Wonder Acceptance, and maybe Olon would have Wonder Acceptance as well. But what you'd want to do is put the Divine in first slot and Ancient in second, or put Ancient in first slot and Divine in second. You get more damage if you put the Ancient in the first slot, and then the Divine in second, but it's riskier, because you don't get the Bless first turn. But, you know, that's how we could improve this immediately, and really you only need 2 of them to take you up to and beat heroic mode really quickly. There is a new Dragon of the Week. Yeah, Sparkler. I've already had it a very long time ago. And hello, Katie. Why, Dan? Why, Dan? Anyway, I love when you play DML. Lovely. I've been playing DML a long time. What? Oh, whatever. I'm going to ignore chat. Chat, you're scaring me. But anyway, you know, Kyle here was level 85 and their top dragon was October. You know, that's pretty good. Level 85, having those dragons. Those dragons easily would take Kyle to crazy, crazy lengths. So, you know, hoping the best for Kyle, but I hope he has swapped off to Wander Acceptance by now. And then we've got this team here, which was posted by Lihe. Not actually sure exactly. And they did post which sigils they also have available to use. And we could see that they don't really have a whole lot to work with. And at this stage, when you're really early on, it's actually pretty good using sigils like Cruelty if you want to finish off map battles, because the difference between uncommon and rare is actually quite a lot. So, I wish only one of your dragons were all beautiful dragons. Want an ancient or celestial. You gotta play during the events. Keep going. Hello, Sub-Zero. Can you do a Dragon City gameplay? I've already done that twice. Both times. Oof. I mean, I like seeing Obese Mary again, because Obese Mary was my mud dragon. And I do like visiting her every so often, but I just hate the way Dragon City looks. I just do not like the art style at all. You know. How's your ancient event? We'll do some ancient event stuff soon, because we will obviously hit the reset at 12, and then I'll start doing some more ancient event stuff for a little bit. But, you know, primarily this is about team advice for people that have either no idea what they're doing, or they just want some general help. But this selection of dragons here, I can see we've started to focus on the Pixie, which is fine. It's just, you know, these other two being level 32 and 30, we don't technically need them. But, at the same time, even though I don't normally recommend people use the Divine Ares dragon since they already have it, Ares should be in first slot, and we're going to go through the same thing again. He should have Wander Acceptance, really. I did see that we actually have a rare acceptance, so I don't know why God isn't in the first slot with Wander Acceptance, or Wandering and then maybe the Attacker, whichever one they choose, having the acceptance for now. But if you do have a Divine with Wander, you can still use the uncommon acceptances, and it's going to be infinitely better than using most other combos. But you can keep Purity Daredevil on the third dragon as well if you really want, but them being in third slot is also risky. What is my ancient target? Depends on whatever the game wants to give me. I have not missed any resets so far, so going good on that front. What sigil do you put on Coral? Depends on the team. You need my help? The thing is, you start playing DML on PC, and there isn't a button where you can connect to Facebook. 1 second, I'm going to turn this down slightly so that I don't get distracted. If you don't have the social media button in game, I've heard that that's apparently because you don't meet the age requirements to be playing DML. So if you're not over the 16 age limit bracket in game, you do get a lot of features disabled. And I'm not sure about social media, but I have heard people saying that if you do not hit the age bracket requirement, all social media links get disabled. So, you know, that's what I've been hearing recently. It never used to be like that, I don't think, but that's what I've heard. That's your team. If you want me to go through your team, Aditya, you can post it if you haven't already. You'll reinstall the game. Well, good luck. But yeah, biggest thing for this team, if they pop God in first slot and give him Wander Acceptance, or one of the second dragon the Acceptance, but both of them should have Acceptance really, and they would be doing infinitely better than going with the level 40 Pixie with, you know, Daredevil and a Gave with Daredevil. You know, always, if you have a Divine, use it. It is so important at the moment to use Divine Dragons, genuinely. We've got this one here from Zemi. Let's have a look at Zemi's team. So, they don't want to use any of the others that are, obviously, green, just scribbled out. They've literally just got paint pen and gone. Well, that's fine. That's fine, I suppose. Is Orchid good for a new player? Not really. But this team here, same thing. Why does Hypnos have Daredevil Purity? He should have Wander Acceptance. And then after that, we could put Acceptance on Blazer, and maybe give Blazer Acceptance Havoc. the Fire Star Dragon potentially. Now that would be pretty good, you know? I see he's already got the Havoc on him, so you just need to give him an acceptance, and there you go. That's all that you need. Those two dragons could single-handedly take you through a lot of the game on their own. Obviously, no healer for the dungeon, but that's why you try and find a water dragon that fits in with the team, ideally an ancient. Actually, you know, Yolhan, I guess, would kind of work, but then you'd also want a shielder. Nezha would have been good with it, but, you know, also having an ancient's important, but those two alone could finish off the entire map easily. So that's the only advice really that you need for that team. And Cameron, let's have a look at that one. Is Purity Daredevil a good combo for Valkov? No. No. It still depends on what you've got available in your team, but no, not really. What is my most powerful dragon? I have 7 level 100 fully maxed out dragons, but the dragon that technically has the highest stats for me right now is my Erlang Shen, but that's because I've given him his Epic Wonder. So all the others have rare sigils, but because Erlang has the Epic Wonder, it says that he's the strongest, so technically him right now. You lost your old account, rest and rep. What do you do with your 8-star level 100 Minotaur dragon? I think it's perfect just the way it is, Slacks. You like the video and subbed? Lovely, lovely. There's an upcoming High Kronos dragon in Dragon City. Cheat copies, right? It seems like we're having the same thing happen over and over again. This team is sort of triggering me a little bit. Sorry, Cameron. I'm not trying to flame you, but, you know, when I see this sort of thing happen, it does trigger me a little bit, because why do we have so many dragons at such a high level? Because we have 5 dragons at around about the same level here. Why do we have 5 dragons at around about the same level when we're not at level 100 yet? This does trigger me a little bit. And all of these dragons have sigils on them. Why? Why would you put sigils on every single one of them? I guess they use all of these in the dungeon, but it doesn't work like that, because when your main dragons get taken out, your dungeon run ends up ending anyway. So what I would do is remove the sigils off of all the dragons they're not using on their team, because every time you put a different sigil on the others, what if you want to use it on your main squad? Then you've got to switch out, put a different one in, and that costs you trinkets. So you don't want to be doing this. This is such a waste of trinkets. Never ever do this if you want to actually be good with your resources. And again, we have an Anubis. Why does he not have Wonder Acceptance? Put him in slot 1 or 2. And because we have Luzra, which is fantastic as well, even though they share the shadow element, it's not actually that bad, because just these 2 alone can finish off the entire map. Wonder Acceptance on either one or both of them, and if you don't give the Luzra the Wonder, then you can give it Witchcraft Acceptance and just destroy the whole map. That's all that you need, these 2. You don't need to worry about any of the others until you get to Heroic Mode done. It's that simple. Just leveling up so many dragons is so bad for your overall progress. Don't do it. Do I know of Margames? I know of them. Hey, I'm not flaming them. It's just this sort of thing, I see it happen quite a lot, and it just hinders people so much in game, because they're like, oh, but I want to be able to do events, and I want to be able to do the dungeon. But lots of people use this for the dungeon, but it doesn't actually help them. You might get an extra, what, 3 KOs per run? Wow, 3 KOs, but it cost you like a month's worth of sigil trinket farming. It's not worth it. And plus, until you do get to max level, it is kind of wasteful doing it like this. In the short term, you're going to miss out on, obviously, some parts of the game if you only level up a few dragons, but you'll get more resources quicker because you're going through the map faster. So you're going to have more food and more gold and more XP and everything else because you're actually progressing in the map. That's what it comes down to. You can have a few dragons if you want, but having this many is too many. You are Vanj from India. Lovely. I am wonderful today, my friend. I hope that you have a good week. Can I show my Ancient Dragon collection? I've only got 2. It's not much of a collection. my collection of 2 dragons. What a mighty collection I have. Best sigils for Ranger depends on the full team. Lazra is good with Daredevil and Acceptance with a Blessed Dragon in the first slot. I would say Witchcraft is usually better because of the Ancient skill. If Daredevil's okay with Acceptance, but I would say on average Witchcraft is better as long as you're not using Mass Leech. You're from Indonesia? Lovely. Yeah, I imagine this is probably a good time frame for the Asian continent viewers. Asian continent, but you know, it's one of those things where the Americans are probably going to be waking up soon or getting in eventually, so that's why I wanted to time it now, because if this goes on for a few hours, we're going to have the sort of Asian time frame, then we're going to go into the European and then the American one, or vice versa with the European American. But yeah, again, really need to take one of the divines and just put Wonder Acceptance on it, and then they'll win. Then they'll win. Okay, then we've got Little Ben here. Little Ben against this fight. Which sigil is good for Loki? Purity Daredevil or Purity Wonder? Wonder Acceptance. How can you get legendary enchantment materials? I can't get them. You just have to do more enchantment battles. There's nothing else crazy about it. It's just you do the enchantment fights. I wish that there was like a faster method, but there isn't. Or you buy chests, but buying the chests is a terrible idea. You're watching for the Philippines, lovely Kevin. Anyway, coming back to Ben's screenshot, we got Big Boy Salamander, Nickel, the Furnace, and BB, the Radiant. So with this team, obviously we don't have a divine to work with, so immediately it's going to be a lot harder. But I would say that it is worth putting the legendary in first slot. I know that he's not enchanted at all, which is kind of weird. Can't even afford level 1 enchantment on him. Strange. But the other thing I'm noticing that's the main problem with these dragons is the fact that none of them have their level 6 upgrades, and Furnace doesn't have his shadow element unlocked. And I'm going to go through this again, because I've gone through this many times. If you're going to use a legendary, if it doesn't have its 3rd element unlocked, it sucks. Just outright. Legendaries that don't have their 3rd elements unlocked are worse than epics. So don't use them until they have their 3rd elements open. This person might have leveled him up so that they could use him, but in this screenshot, they haven't even unlocked the shadow element. So it needs to happen. It's just you can't really do much with legendaries when they don't have their 3rd element unlocked. And plus, you know, after that gets unlocked, maybe 1 extra enchantment star, then if you gave him the Purity Daredevil, or maybe a Cruelty if you've got one, might help as well, like Cruelty Daredevil in first slot, that might help as well. But you need your level 6 upgrades on everything. All dragons that you're going to use in your main squad. You can't do map battles properly without having them upgraded. And I know that there is a level where you've got to spend the gold and upgrade the temples, but it is so worth it. It should be like one of the first things you try and max, the temple. Not the temple, academy. My mistake. Academy. First thing you should do. Is Purity Witchcraft good for orange? Not really. The problem with Purity Witchcraft instead of, say, Daredevil Witchcraft is that the base bonus you get from Purity on its own isn't all that good. It is Pume the most OP ancient of all time? No. No. Can I make a dungeon team without ancient and divine? You can, but it won't be very good. Quack sucks. No, you call this. What is that? Your name sounds like some sort of plant. Is it possible to make a good dungeon team? I already read that. Will there be a part 3? We'll see what we get through today. Big fan from India. Love you, Ma. The link for Discord doesn't work. It should work. It's been working for years, so I would assume it still works. You are Don't tell people you're a child. That's like rule 1 of don't be stupid on the internet. Don't tell people you're a child. Jesus. You didn't have to be told that. Can I zoom in on this screenshot? It's kind of scuffed, but I think we're making it. There we go. We can see that, right? I'm amazed at how much I could zoom in, and this is still like pretty much perfect quality. What? What quality did you send this image file over in? Jeez, Rex. Wow, I'm actually impressed. Best combo for Apollo depends on your team. If he's your only divine, then probably Wonder Acceptance. If he's your second or third dragon, then possibly an Acceptance Havoc or an Acceptance Witchcraft, depending on whether you want to use the fire or the plant. But I actually find Havoc more useful in case you use him in the dungeon. Can you go to your game? You want to see my event? That'll happen when the new reset comes. You don't need to see it right now. There's nothing to do in game right now. There will be at 12. So... Daredevil Acceptance doesn't seem bad on a Void Ancient. Yeah, it's not bad. For Voids, because they can zuck it all back, it's not too bad. But it depends on how often you actually end up using Void on the Ancient. Because lots of the time, I find myself I prefer using the Ancient skill. But if you're just swapping between Ancient and Void, it might be pretty good. You left DML in the Ancient Light event. Did the game became better? Sure, whatever you want to believe. If you want to believe it's gotten better so that you can play again, you can believe that. Have you not heard about the new Sigil contest? Like the most pay-to-win thing we've ever had in game? Anyway, best Sigil combo for Yolhan depends on your full team. Yes, 4Z, I'm going through everyone's. We'll see when we get to it. Anyway, coming back to this fight here. I don't think they really gave us much of a description. This is my team, can you give me some advice, is what they said. So again, we're working with only rares and a common. Why? You see, immediately I would say, why do we have a level 52 rare with only 2 elements? That is the biggest, most glaring issue with this team. Because for a start, if you've only got a dragon with 2 elements, you're going to suffer during events that require elements. And rares have lower base stats than epics. And epics have lower base stats than legends, who have lower base stats than divines. So rares are quite weak. This person needs to get some epics, legends, and obviously a divine as quickly as possible. But at a very minimum, they should have swapped off to epics probably 40 levels ago. The biggest problem that they have, and the reason they can't beat these fights, is because they don't have the elements and they don't have the base stats to do it. So, you know, Purity Daredevil is fine if you don't have any other options, especially in first slot. I do like that that's first slot. I do think that the uncommon Purity Daredevil should still be on the slot 2 dragon, which is a level 51 common. That makes me vomit a little bit. Not gonna lie, I did vom. That's sickening. Don't do that, ever, please. Please don't level up commons. They can only use common sigils, and that's why they've only got common sigils on him. That's why, and it makes me very sad because that tribal's probably nearly more powerful than him. Just don't use rares, use epics or above. Rares are not good. You know, anyone still using rares, stop doing it. Commons are even worse. Don't do it. Uncommons are also bad. Don't do it. Yeah, I started playing when DML was released. Why do you just keep saying I suck? What, do you think I'm gonna... Ooh, you think I'm gonna cry? Ooh, I suck. I suck. Literally couldn't give less of a monkey's left ballsack, mate. So, is the dragon Druid level 30 a good dragon for your team? Not really when we've got Ancients and Divines. Fire is best 100%. Is Zodiac good? No, not really. Hello, want cheese? You know what? I do actually kind of want cheese. I always kind of want cheese. Cheese is just good. It's versatile. You can do a lot with it. It's like potatoes, man. They're like one of the best things. since, I was gonna say since sliced bread, but I guess since potatoes, because you could just do lots of things with them. It's wonderful. We've got a deleted user here. I could probably predict who this actually was, but I'm not going to. Sell Andy. I mean, I could. It wouldn't make any difference to me anymore. Give me cheesy noodles. I guess, if you want to. Level 51 common vom face. Exactly. Why would you want to restart your game? There's no reason to ever restart. No reason. Will you use a plant ancient if you get any? Probably not. Probably not. Anyway, come back to this team. I can see we got a wonder on Popo. That's a good start, but maybe they've only got one acceptance on the Loki because they might only have one acceptance. But again, you know, my recommendation would be put an acceptance on all three of these dragons. And then maybe you could give that Loki Witchcraft, because Witchcraft is really good on Loki. And then Popo, if you give him an acceptance and then Havoc, I think that's actually not too bad. You know, I think that would be a pretty good team overall for a little while if you wanted to use all three of them. You've also got the option, of course, of only leveling up 2, but if you do want to use all 3 of these dragons, just pop an acceptance on all 3, Witchcraft on Loki, and a Havoc on Popo. I think you're good to go. Popo will be win-winner. You know. How old am I? I look 17. I am 22. What? You know, I don't get this. When I was about 15, people used to think that I was about 24. And now that I'm past 20, people think that I'm 15. What's happened? What happened, world? I honestly don't know. Quack, quack. You level up Bounty Hunter to level 40, is it worth it? Not really, but it depends on what you had available. If you had a Divine and he was your only legend, possibly I could see some use, but the problem with a lot of legendaries these days is that compared to their Divine and Ancient counterparts, they can't compare, because the skill, legendary level 6 skill, is just bad. It's probably one of the worst level 6 upgrades in the whole game, if not the worst. So that's the problem with legendary. You know, obviously legendary dragons, they are they're immune because they don't have any weaknesses. So they don't have anything that they're weak to, so they don't take as much damage as epics and that. But I don't know. It's just compared to Divine, like what Bless does and what Ancient does, it's just not even comparable. You bought some alcohol recently. It was the first time you didn't get ID'd. Pog. Are legendaries overrated? These days they're not really rated. They're in the sort of burning dumpster fire of trash, to be honest. I think I've done Hermes' team before. Oh, I'm gonna go through it again just in case anyway. You just got 2 bounty hunters? Lovely, you can ascend one if you want. Hellion, Prairie, Emerald, Balloon... Stop, Kevin, why do you have so many? Is Legendary level 30 with all categories on good? No, not really. Am I married? I am not. Is the Fairy Dragon good? Again, not really, not particularly. Anyway, back to this screenshot here. We can see that this person has a Legendary and 2 rares. Again, we're encountering this problem where people keep using Legendaries when they've only got 2 elements unlocked. The problem is that this Legendary isn't going to have the base stats for having all 3 elements unlocked. Not until you unlock the 3rd element. So, until that point, epics would have been infinitely better on this team. Because we've got 3 dragons that only have 2 elements. And plus, for some reason, the Legendary doesn't even have any sigils on. So, Umper is useless. It's the lowest level and it has no sigils. This is confusing me. Everything about this team is... I don't want to sound too harsh, but wrong. Everything about this team is wrong. No, Archer. Punewin can be okay, but it's not like it's going to be good on its own. Your team is Loki, Cleric, and Capricorn. Everyone has Acceptance Wonder. I guess I can see why they'd all have Acceptance Wonder. I guess it's not awful. Why do you keep spamming everyone? You have Anubis, Yolhan, and Isis. Which sigil should you use? I'm going to go through all of the requests that were sent in a long time ago first, because if I keep doing everyone in chat, then we'll never get through the screenshots here. Anyway, we have Ariana99, and they did send us 2 screenshots, so we can see what they've got to work with and what dragons they're actively... Oh god, another level 52 common. Blech. Vom. Where's the Vom face? Do you have a boyfriend? I do, Niall. Do you have the Dragon of the Week? I do. I got Sparkler a very long time ago during the, what was it called? Faction event? Light vs. Shadow faction event? Where did those go? I wish they'd come back. Should you upgrade Crystal? Probably not. You want Andy Dragon so bad? Keep going. Keep spamming. Keep going. Oh, Blazzy! Hello, Blazzy. Welcome back, my brother. Please tell me Purity plus Daredevil combo good for Valkyr. I already told you no, it's bad. Stop. Anyway, coming back to this team here. Why has this happened again? Are you noticing a problem with this screenshot? Aside from having so many dragons at roughly the same level? Do you see the problem that I pointed out before? Look at how many sigils are on these dragons. Look at them. Why do people do it? Why? It's like people got sigils and they just threw them on every dragon in existence. You've got to remember when you're messing with sigils that it costs you trinkets to swap them around. Ugh. Why? It's just every single one of these dragons, apart from Apollo. Because, I don't know, Apollo hate has sigils on it. This is the opposite of what you should do if you want to actually have trinkets and upgrade your sigils. Ugh, it makes me sick. Not only that, having the common be the top 3. Maybe they just really like the Nightmare, in which case, fine. But it's not good to use on your team. Aside from that, having just Loki and October, that's all they need for this team. They don't even need this common. Just give this common, like, Rebirth and, I don't know, another gimmick one like Subdue, and just leave it there. Leave it at level 52, never touch it again. That's what they could do. But then, Loki and October, either, again, you can either do it the safe way, which is put Wonder Acceptance on Loki, and possibly a Wonder Acceptance on the October, and put Loki in first, or you go with the riskier method, which is putting the Ancient in first, and then using Mass Bless and maybe buffing the Divine Bless with Loki in second. It depends on what you prefer and what you want to do. Obviously, the Ancient in first slot is usually the method that people use to clear the map quicker, but you're going to end up encountering a few losses doing that, so that's why there's sort of a choice between whether you want the Divine first or the Ancient first. You assume they're using that common for void healing, possibly, but it's so not worth it. It's so not worth having common, because at this point you'd notice the fact that the common can only use common sigils, and it's just only being able to use common sigils is a death sentence in DML. It's not good enough. They say, no, you. Why he put a Havoc on the... Don't ask questions like that. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Why did they put a Havoc on the October? I could try and think of a reason for the next 500 years, and I don't think I'd actually come to one that has any reasonable sound judgment behind it. And the only possibility is that they put that on there because it gave bonus HP, but they have other sigils available. We know that they have other sigils available. Yeah, there's no reason. There's no reasonable explanation. I don't know why they put Havoc on the October. I want to stop looking at that. I'm gonna stop looking at that before I cry a little bit. Anyway. You're back to game. Have fun, Hood. What ancient do you think is the best in the ancient event we are in now? Well, technically base stat wise it would be Frosk. Does depend on your team though, because if the ancient that you get, if you get any, just doesn't fit in with your team, well, it's not going to be good for your team. So, you know, every ancient is better for some rather than others, put it that way. There's no single best ancient for everyone. They probably saw someone with that setup and followed in their footsteps, probably, but it's so sad. It's so sad seeing dragons that can't make any use out of Havoc have Havoc on them, unless they put it on there on purpose to trigger me, which is possible. This person posted this screenshot and said, can you give tips on how to get enchantment materials? So I guess this isn't directly a team advice, but it looks like they need some team advice, my goodness. Anyway. Can you have 200 gems to upgrade your fruit tree? You're a free-to-play player, so it's really hard for you to get gems, so can I have 200 so I can upgrade my fruit tree? If you collect them yourself, and you use them on fruit tree, I would probably be even more upset. Why are you upgrading fruit tree? Fruit tree is terrible. Did you say that to trigger me? Did you say that to trigger me? That... One, no, you can't be gifted gems in-game by anyone but Gameloft. Two, you should never have bought Fruit Tree, it's terrible. Imagine asking for gems to upgrade the Fruit Tree. Am I in some sort of parallel universe? Where that's any sort of reasonable statement to say? Good lord. No, fruit tree is not good. You should not be upgrading it at all. And again, I can't give you gems, only Gameloft can give out gems. What are the best sigils for Valkov? Depends on your full team. It's never just, what's the best sigil for this dragon? It's never that simple. It depends on your full team. Okay? It's never just, oh, I've got a coral, what should I put on it? Well, I don't know, what do you have to work with? Like, 2 other commons, or do you have a divine? Like, come on. You just need fruit? Okay, progress on the map then. Fruit tree is not good. Anyway, coming back to this person was asking, how do you get more enchantment materials? There is no special, secret, super method to getting extra enchantment materials. You just have to do more fights. What you can do is you could, in the Enchantment League, put in lower level defenders so that you get bumped down. So then you can do more fights total, but that's pretty much it. There's no other nuance to enchantment fights. You just have to do lots of them. Was it a bad idea for you to buy the extra island? Unless you've got 700 dragons, yeah, it was a waste of money. Hi from the Czech Republic. Hello, Dragon Army. Does Gameloft give YouTubers extra advantage in DML? There was one point where they sort of were offering that, but I always turned them down because I was like, if I start taking free stuff, then I'm not really playing the game anymore. So I just stopped taking stuff. I am part of the MVP program though at the moment, which does mean that MVPs do get a little small gift of stuff at the beginning of every new month, but that's not, it's not me asking for like thousands of gems or anything. You spent 2 years getting enough gems for Fruit Tree and now you're telling me it's useless? 2 years to get 200 gems? Yeah, it's useless. It's useless. You seems made. I am not made. I am fine. It is daylight, which is why you can see it's bright. Anyway, coming back to this team, they asked about enchantment stars, but not a lot to do with that. But this team, why does the legendary have wonder, but not... In fact, we've got 2 wonders on these dragons, but the wonder isn't on the divine. Why? Why does Gadu not have wonder? Why does Gadu not have rare wonder. This is confusing me. If Gadu had Wonder Acceptance and Matter had Acceptance, either Wonder, or you could use Cruelty, or you could use Witchcraft, this would be a good team on its own with these two, but the Sigils are completely the wrong way around. So if they just swapped around the Sigils to something actually decent, they could probably beat fights that were like 15, 20 levels above them. So if Zlaze, or Zlaze is still here, hope that helps him, what are some of good team options for me? And they did post their Sigils, but let's look at their actual dragons. A good thing for bosses? What? What? You have Smoke, Storm, and Water Lily. Why? Why do you have Smoke? What? Why? Why are you still using commons? Please, please swap to epics or above. I'm gonna cry. Please. I already said it's not a good idea to buy the extra island unless you have 700 plus dragons. How many pieces of Pumewind do I have? About 300, I think. Do you think there will be more divine events? Yes, there will be. They like the look of commons. I get that. You know, that's something that I've always not really liked about DML. The fact that if you just grow attached to a common or a weak dragon, you're sort of forced to leave it behind. But what if you don't want to leave it behind? You're sort of handcuffed, because then you've got to use dragons that maybe you don't like as much. That sort of happened because at first I didn't really like Hermes that much on my very first look. I do like him now, but on the first I ever saw him, it was like, oh, I kind of have to use him now because he's a divine and he's my first divine. And when you have to make that decision, it does feel a bit like, ugh, you know, the dragons that I wanted to use and that I like the look of, I can't really use them. So I do get that with people, I do sympathise. But if you want to actually progress in game, you've got to get over that and just use the dragons that are good. Because if you think about it, if you use the dragons that are good and you progress super quick, then if you wanted to have a common, you could breed 50 of them and have an entire army of them faster. That sounds fantastic, right? Things that depress me. Fruit tree, commons that are high levels, wasting gems, ancient events and stupid events. There's probably another 500 things to add to that list, but yes, you are correct. In next week's dungeon, ancient tickets will come. Yes, I believe so. It will be the catch-up dungeon next week. So, I think it's next week anyway. So, yeah, there should be tickets in that one, which is going to be a lot of people's final chance to get your scar. Do I watch anime? I do. I just watch shows in general. Doesn't really matter if they're anime or not. I don't watch that much, but I do watch anime on occasion. Is it possible to finish the game? No. If you count beating the map as finishing the game, sure. But aside from that, there's no real ending. Is Sigil Rebirth good? No. It's only useful on a third dragon if you're not really using it, you just want it as a meat shield. What level would you keep commons at? 10? 10? They're not good for temple upgrades either, so 10. Oh yeah, next week's dungeon has tickets, but then there's a catch-up, that's it. Yeah, you're right. Purity Sigil is the best. Disagree. Anyway, coming back to the screenshot since I keep getting distracted. They said, what about teams? Let's look at this. We've got a divine. Fantastic. We do have a legendary. And he is a meh legendary. So we could decide a few different things here. But number one, Apollo should be in that main squad. What you could do, you could have Apollo in first slot, and he's got Wonder Acceptance. Fantastic, that's what I want to see. Why are there so many dragons at the same level? I don't know. That should be stopped immediately, but first of all, pop Apollo in first with Wonder Acceptance. Second, you could have one of the epics. a lot of these epics sort of share the same elements, but you could pop in Pyog, the meteorite, or meteor. God, I've forgotten which way around it is. Either way, if you pop the Void, Shadow, and Light Dragon in second, and then you could have Fico in third, or you could have Fico in second. I could see this doing decent stuff for a while. Obviously, ideally, we'd replace the Epic with an Ancient, but Pyog could probably do with an Acceptance, either Havoc or Acceptance Witchcraft, and I think he'd be good. I think we could do that. There's a lot of different ways that we could play around with dragons in this team, but the main thing is that you don't want to duplicate elements, so if you wanted to not duplicate any, that's a decent lineup. Have you ever seen Two Pretty Best Friends? What? Do I watch Food Wars? I dropped Food Wars after 3 episodes, and people kept showing me clips from later on, and I am so glad I did. I am so glad I did. Lucky Rastafari, Headquacks, I was wondering if you could give me some advice on how to make my team stronger using sigils and such. It would be great, thanks. Okay. And they say that normally they use the Golden Crow, Stardust, and Apollo. Let's have a look. So, then we've got Apollo, which is great. We've got Oli. Normally they use the Epics. Again, we're noticing no acceptance on these dragons, so first of all, Apollo should have an acceptance, and the other two should have an acceptance as well, since we got the Divine Bless. And then either you could go with the Stardust plus maybe the Legend, or you could go with the Golden Crow plus... Although Golden Crow is duplicating elements with the Apollo, so maybe you could go with... I don't know, no matter what you do, you're going to end up duplicating here. Really. Yeah, there's no way to really avoid that. So, either you're going to duplicate Plant, or you're going to end up duplicating Shadow. So, I don't know, you could really choose what you want, but mainly having Apollo with Wonder Acceptance and the other two with Acceptance alone will be infinitely better. If you want water for the healing, you could obviously use either the Legend or Shadow, Water, and Wind Dragon, because they might be useful for at least a couple of rounds in dungeon. And then Rake's not bad with Metal too, but obviously goal would be during Ancient event, get an Ancient. Apollo is mostly used as an attacker. That's great, but he needs to bless first. Even if he is used as an attacker, what you do is you bless, and then you attack second turn with him. Can you put an Acceptance and Purity together? You can, but it's not that great. Do I watch Death Note? I finished it. It is not that... It is okay. It's not impressive. Especially the actual animation in the show. It's pretty... It's quite old now, but it's not... kind of garish to look at a lot of the time. But yeah... I would say Apollo goes in first slot, Wonder Acceptance. The other two you can pick and choose, but pick 3 to actually level up instead of like 6. Yeah, don't upgrade Smoke, please. Where we can use our gems. If you want to find a good place to use your gems in-game, it is level 3 Hatchery is a must. Portal upgrade, so that you can finish off the maps, is a must. And then past that point, level 3 element unlocks for legendaries, divines, and whatever. You need those, so you need 99 gems per element. And the VIP, if you can't afford it. If you can't, well, if you're not buying it through other bundles and such, you're probably going to have to buy that through gems every 20 days. Or through the Walmart deals, so there's a lot of things that you need to be spending your gems on. What do you think of Homala? Is it good as support? Not really. Not really. Use Divine Dragon? Yes, use Divine. Should you use Autumn plus Yolhan? What about your third? I do not speak Indonesian, so I cannot put down Indonesian subtitles. amazingly enough. I need some advice to quickly get back to my old account state at level 61, but I lost it and GameLoft does not want to respond, as I had not backed it up with any email or Facebook, so here is what I currently have. They don't have many sigils to work with. They've only got a common damaging sigil apart from what they already have. Let's have a look. Do I think I'm ever going to buy Planet? Nope, I'm not quite that stupid with my money. How much sleep do you get? Normally I will, during ancient events, what's ended up happening is I'll try and sleep at about 10:30, but then I won't get to sleep until after 12, so then I'll do the reset, then I'll go to bed, then I wake up at about 6:30, so about 6 hours. You're my old subscriber, glad to have you here, Tushar. So we got this guy here. Again, the first thing you'll notice is they don't have many upgrades on their elements. I imagine they don't even have the temples upgraded yet. So that's understandable, but obviously getting level 6 upgrades is a priority that we should go with. And, you know, at this point, I normally only like using 2 dragons main when you're really early starting off, because leveling up 3 dragons does get kind of costly. So what you can do on the 3rd dragon, again, give it a rebirth, give it a big rebirther, and then some other gimmick sigil, and just use it as your meat shield. And then the other 2 level those up, and usually the AI tries to target priority attack the one that has rebirth, or the lower level one, because if it sees it can one-shot a dragon, it usually tries to attack that one. So that's why meat shields are quite good. It's essentially at least 1 extra attack that you can take on your team. Your team is B, Orange, and Rust. That's underwhelming. Will the Changi Dragon be good to use on a team, and what sigils would be best? Completely depends on the rest of your team. Completely depends. You have to go now. Good luck with the stream. Good luck with the Steam. I will have good luck with the Steam. Thank you, King Choose. Have fun. Divine, Epic, and Common, but the Divine's the strongest. Get rid of the Common then. Why do you have the Common? Get rid of the Common. If you have to say to someone, my team contains enter Common name, get rid of it. You could get rid of it. Just throwing the idea out there, you know. Comfortant. Please help, they said. So we've got a fold, my feet, and Bela. First thing I am going to notice is the fact that my feet is obviously using the Ancient. You could put him in first slot, and either you are going to want to give him, even though he's an Ancient, he does still have the shield, so you could still give him Wonder, and he still does have the Ancient skill, so you could still give him Wonder and Acceptance on there, and it wouldn't be too bad. But Ancients without Divines are actually kind of underwhelming. You know, you can still zuck all of their powers and such, but the problem with that is that they just don't get the blessed bonus damage. So no matter what you do, it's going to kind of suck. So you could do that with Solden. At the same time, I see that they've just gone high damage, but they've put high damage in the 2nd slot, but they've put Wonder Acceptance on the bronze, which is in 1st. I guess just for the metal? I don't like it though. I don't like it. I don't like using Wonder Acceptance if your only buff is metal, personally. I don't. I think they'd benefit more just from using high damage sigils, but it is tough when you don't really have a lot to work with. There's not really too much to work with this team, but I'd say getting the leech off is still important if you want to get bonus buffs. So, you know, Wonder Acceptance is fine on Bela if you want to use the healing, but, you know, I would say they need a Divine quick. They need a Divine if they want to get full potential out of that Ancient boy. You've been upgrading your dragons and you are unable to save up food. Can you help me? Don't spend it on bad dragons. All that you have to do to get more food is progress in the map. farm food, either the 6-hour food or 1-hour food, spring cherries, squirry berries, every day, all the time. They do cost quite a lot, which is why lots of people mainly struggle with actually getting the gold for it. But if you keep progressing on the map, eventually you will hit a point where you can permanently sustain that farming. Tushar Gautam, why did you send every message on a new individual line? Do I have ancient? Oh, you're asking someone else that. You don't use ancient dragons, and you probably should. You might not right now, but you probably should. The vid that shows you how to breed legendary dragons helped. I'm glad. I'm glad. You're new to sigils and you don't know anything about it. Can you help me? What sigil should I use? All elements are unlocked on Ranger. It depends on your whole team. Don't just say, I've got a Ranger, what should I use? It depends on your team. Team. Anyway, this person says they don't know a lot about sigils and they don't really know what to do. Again, they've got a legendary and they've been using it before it even has its third element. Not advised, but this combination of Purity, Havoc, I also don't like it. They obviously don't have level 6 upgrades yet, but that's probably because they haven't unlocked it yet. But I would say either Cruelty Daredevil or just a super high damage combo of elements in slot 1 would be better off, but honestly, there's not a lot you can do at this point. Just throw some really high damage sigils on Dragon number 1 and 2 and hope for some random crits with Cruelty and just some big damage. Apart from that, early on, it basically just comes down to, is my dragon leveled up high enough to beat this fight? Early on, there's not really a lot that sigils can do to enhance your team, so you just need to collect more sigils, get some better dragons, and for the first sort of 25 levels, you don't really have to worry too much about what you use. I still do recommend using epics, of course, because they're better, but Prairie, if you don't have any epics, you can get him at level 1 by connecting to Facebook, so he's not a bad choice for super early game. Do we need ancient dragons? You only have legendary? Yeah, really you do need at least one ancient if you want to get the best team out there. Okay, Blazzy, I didn't know you'd sent one in here. Make a video on pro tips? Pro tips for what? Do I have a favourite, least favourite? Halcyon is my favourite. My least favourite is Droid. Death to Droid. A. Andy. Okay, I called out your name. Not sure why you wanted it, but there you go. Oh, I'm bored. Go do something then. But yes, coming back to this fight here, we've got Blazzy's team. Damn it! Why are you using 3 legendaries that none of them have their elements even unlocked? Why? Why would you do it? It is reset time, so after this, I'm gonna go and do part of the reset. Why, Blazzy? Why have you done this? See, don't use legendaries unless they have all 3 elements unlocked. And it's not like these dragons are at level 30, these are at level 40. They unlocked the 3rd element on these 10 plus levels ago. Don't use legendaries unless they've got their 3rd elements unlocked. It's so bad. You'd be better off, if you're not going to unlock the 3rd elements, you'd be better off using an epic in the meantime. In like 99% of scenarios. The only time where a person might not want to unlock the 3rd element is if their damage would go down, but then normally their health would go up in exchange for a few damage points, so normally the health is worth it. But don't do this. Don't do this, please. I also think that having the super high damage combo should be at the beginning, and plus because we do have the Warlock with Void unlocked, even though for some reason it's only at level 2, they'd have been much better off putting Warlock in first with Purity Daredevil, and using that in slot 1, and then healing back all of the damage that they take. Man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. You, like, accidentally sold your divine? That's, like, cringe, bro. Oh, Silverwing timing out people in the chat. Disgusting. And I'm still watching. I'm still watching YouTube. Actually, this is slightly loud now. I'm gonna put it down again. There we go. So yeah, you wanted me to do a little bit of DML for the reset, right? So we'll do a bit of DML for the reset. Why people say, "Can you please, I love you"? This is not a dating app. I don't know. Maybe they got linked via. I genuinely can't even think of a dating app's name. Not Bumble. It shows how much I've used dating apps, doesn't it? Yeah, they use a dating app. Undisclosed name. You like my videos? That's lovely. Hey, Andy. DML equals God. What? What does that even mean? But what does it mean? So at Cocoon Quest we're currently on tier 7 because what I do sometimes in solo events these days is because it's so cheap, if I've only got like 6 items left that's gonna cost me like 6 gems, I've been skipping those just so I can basically save myself quite a few hours. And it has not cost me more than 50 gems. It can't have, but you know, I just want to get Caterpillar out of the way and I don't have to worry about it. But we've got feeding dragons and collecting gold, which is also going to be part of the reset stuff. So we're going to do that. You already have Lisk, but why not add Frosk too? Normally not advised, but you do you. You do you. You think we should blacklist GameX from chat? Why? Pretty much the only people that ever get banned from chat are people that are just outright spamming and not listening. That's it. I very, very, very rarely ban people, and I very rarely block people. The amount of people I've actually blocked via DM in the last full, like, 365-day year, probably like 1 person. I don't think there's been many. Don't use that as a challenge. Well, I guess you can if you want, but I mean, the block button takes all of about... Okay, you're getting permed, speaking of. Hi, user on this channel, Max. Max, I'm not dealing with that. Ask me for an unchat ban. You know, since I was just talking about it, I was like, you know what, I'm feeling frisky. Let's go for another block. Let's go for a block. Let's go for a block. Just as I was talking about it, someone decides to spam the chat. Okay, it's like you're tempting fate at that point. That's up to you. You wanna mess? Fine. That's what I mean. It's like people think, or some people get some sort of, I don't know, some sort of jump out of spamming and then going, haha, person blocked me, lol. It's like, it takes 2 seconds. It's like 2 button presses. Meanwhile, you've spent like 5 minutes trying to formulate the most optimal diss to send out. It's like, yeah, you invested a lot more time than I did. So, I don't care. You never should want to get banned? Well, don't do anything to get you banned then. Why they spam? I don't know. I've helped you from level 14 to level 53. Lovely. Keep going. You're playing DML and you just got a divine? Lovely. That's what I like to hear. You got a divine already. That's gonna improve your team like 200% at least. You don't have Discord, but if you got it, the first thing you do is join yours. Feels good, boys. Okay. Someone's speaking in German, it looks like. I'm not actually paying full attention, but I'm gonna start banning anyone that speaks in a foreign language because we can't moderate the chat. Please understand, it's an English chat. I've always spoken English, never spoken active German, so therefore anyone that speaks other languages will be banned. What happens when you get to level 160? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. You'd think you'd get some sort of badge or anything in game. No, you get nothing. I've been stuck at level 160 for a long time, and all that you get is the level up bonus, and that's it. Because if we click this, it says, keep earning XP to unlock cool prizes. Cool prizes consists of like 3 gems. Or maybe some food. Wow. That's fantastic. Some 3 gems. Whoa, boy, howdy. I feel privileged. Oh, really? This finishes in 45 minutes? Look, Kronos and this is pretty much perfectly synced. Huh, isn't that nice? Anyway, coming back to Dragon Board, what do we have today? We've got 1 piece for every diagonal of Jade again. 1,000 food or something? Yes. You wish that we could breed ancient dragons? It would be probably pretty good, but... Why do I get double 6s when I want to hit a 1 and a 2? Why do you do this game? There we go. We hit our 1. Can we hit our 2? Can we? There we go. Lovely. Look, wasn't the game nice to us there? Oh, you know, I would have appreciated the double 6s if we had a bonus quest. Normally I wouldn't spend anything. I'm just going to get to this next green tile and then stop. We get awesome rewards like 500 food and 2,000 gold. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. 200 food. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hello, Huan? How long does it take to get Kronos? Probably like a year. Roughly. You'd prefer to be able to evolve dragons than to breed ancients? Evolving dragons. I guess. I guess they kind of evolve from baby form to adult form though, right? There we go, we're at 300 pieces of Punwin now. 300. You'd rather have a scroll? Would you? I wouldn't. This ancient event sucks. Crying sad face. I mean, it's not any different to normal. I've been complaining about how boring these events are for a long time, but nothing happens, so... Probably not going to happen at this point. At least they actually made the legendaries obtainable in these ancient chests now, though, rather than soft. That was just a big kerfuffle. What if DML add to breed ancient and get an ancient? I think that would be great. Honestly, if they added 1 breedable ancient to the game, even if it wasn't the best elements-wise, I think that would be more than acceptable. You know? People that want to use it can, people that want the pay-to-win ancients, they can get them still. You know of GameX? Know of them. Which sigils should you put on Yoskar? Depends on your team. Depends on your teamer. Anyway, let's move on from Blazzy's triggering post here. We've got Arjun. I'm not really having that much trouble getting through the map, but I've been getting a lot of 1 stars. I need a little help. I don't know if you're still doing team advice things though. Hope you are. Thank yous. Okay, so we don't have a lot of sigils really to work with this team, but we don't have any divine, so we need to keep that in mind as well. Can you tell me what happens when we open Kronos? You get a 6-hour time skip. That's what you get. You get to do 6-hour time skippies, which is pretty useful during these major events. Your friend gifted you a Divine Dragon card? No, they didn't. That's not possible. They should make a separate campaign for Ancient and Divine events? I guess that could be interesting, but people already struggle enough with the sigil map. Come on. They're not going to do that. Anyway, coming back to this team here, we've got Bonbon, we have our legendary Murano, my boy, and a Candy. Obviously, first thing I'm going to say is get rid of the Candy and put an Epic in that slot. But, you know, with this team, there's not an awful lot you can do. They do have Wonder in slot 1 and an Acceptance on Himiko, which I don't think is actually that bad because we do have the Earth, which they're obviously using that for. If you wanted to be higher level fights, it'd probably be better to just put super high damage sigils on the first 2 for now. But, you know, this is another one of those where either you can start off with the Earth Shield, but then you're going to lose out on a lot of damage. And sometimes you can beat enemies like 20 levels above you just with a Cruelty and a Daredevil. So, that's how I'd probably suggest them beat this fight, putting that on Himiko. That's not going to be a long-term thing, but just until you get better dragons and better sigils, I'd just put really high damaging sigils on the first dragon, try and take out the opponents. You know, again, that's why with team advice, I try and cater it depending on where the player is in terms of in the game. Because look, they've got Purity, they've got Daredevils, I don't see any green cruelty. Oh no, there are cruelties there. I'm blind. But yeah, they do have cruelties, so they could pop some cruelties in there. So, you know, they could do that, and it'd probably help them for a few more fights. Quacks! What, James? You have level 70s. Lovely. You can't upgrade my other dragons fast enough to unlock the temples. Any suggestions? You're going to get held back for a while when you want to get above level 70. It's just how the game is. It is just how the game is, I'm afraid. I have a challenge for you. Babify your best dragon. That's not a challenge. I could do that in 2 seconds. Why would I do it though? No reason, so I'm not going to do it. You're going to play mine? Is that different from Minecraft? You're going to play mine? Discord chat doesn't work. It does. You've got to verify first. You've got to confirm that you're not a stinky bot. Hello, this is my team. I just unlocked sigils and I'm curious to know if I should change them in the future. This is another really, really early game team. And obviously they don't have temples unlocked or anything. So having the tribal to use is great. I would say if they can try and get another epic and replace their common, you know, that would be step 2. And then past that point, just use any rare and uncommon sigils that you get, usually is the better option, because the difference between common and rare is huge. So if they happen to get a rare sigil from somewhere, it's going to be infinitely better to throw it on there, even if it's a terrible one. Even if it's a terrible one. Do I use ad blocker? I do generally, because sometimes some websites are just impossible to use. But I do try and turn off ad blocker for particular, well, either channels that I'm watching or, you know, sites that aren't super predatory with ads and they're just trying to make some extra money and I want to help them out. That's the thing. With ad block, obviously, you can turn it on and off at any time. So if you just turn it off for the particular people that you want to help, but then turn it back on when you're just generally browsing, that's the best way to use it, usually. So, I mean, is it a good team? Or should I add one more dragon if I have it? This is Lords. Let's have a look. Actually, that's the wrong screenshot. So, like I've said before, with these teams where you've only got 2 dragons, you should still have a 3rd dragon in that slot. You just don't want to level it up. Never ever, when you've got a team with 2 dragons, just take out the 3rd. Don't do it. Don't take out the 3rd one. Just give it Rebirth and a different sigil. I had another person take this too literally. When I say have a team with 2 dragons, it doesn't mean remove the 3rd one completely. It just means don't level it up. Just give it Rebirth and like either evasion or a subdue or something, and just leave it as the meat shield. You don't want to remove your meat shield. You need the meat shield. And then the other 2, these are the wrong way around. The divine should probably be upgraded to equal, if not a higher level than the legendary, and he should have Wonder Acceptance, then he blesses, and then Core could have Acceptance Havoc. And those 2 alone could probably beat most of the map quite easily, but they still need a 3rd dragon in that 3rd slot. Don't take out the 3rd. The only exception to that is if you go into particular fights where you're getting one-shot by fire in the first turn, but 99% of fights, you're better off having a 3rd dragon in that slot still. Do you use credit to buy gems? I've never used a credit card to buy gems. No. Never a credit card. I'm just going to leave this on there. Anyway, coming back to some of the other teams. Help with this, please. I need a divine dragon with a water element. Any recommended? Nezha was good. It sounds cruel when you say use a dragon as a meat shield. I know. I do feel pretty bad for about half a second, but, you know, they offer themselves to be part of our team. We breed them, we raise them to be meat shields. It's the sad, unfortunate reality for some. You need a divine, any suggestions? Any that you can get is better than none. Genuinely. Any divine is better than no divine. Because the bless is that good at the minute. But, yes. Anyway, coming back to this. What did they say again? Help with this. This is Swapnil's team. I think Swapnil sent another one, but I'm still going to do this early version. Wonder Acceptance, pop that on Loki, and then... Really, this rare should have been replaced a long time ago, but then LOL could have Lamau, LOL, WTF. Wow, how boomer are we? Not boomer, zoomer. Zoomer, so zoomer. Anyway, yeah, if you popped on LOL, Acceptance, and... I don't know, actually. You could even put Havoc on there, I guess, because of the energy. But, yeah. For now, again, WTF, you can put on the... I guess they could still have an Acceptance and still do damage for a short time, but then when they get out-leveled by the other two, then you could, again, throw the Reverb on it. But Loki needs Wonder Acceptance, Second Dragon needs Acceptance, and some sort of other damaging sigil that's not Purity, and that will be better. If you're gonna use his Shadow attack, then what you could do on the Vortex is put Acceptance Daredevil on there. That would be good. For Dungeon, what element should I have paired with Yoskar? Again, it depends on your full team. Depends on the full team. You need a divine. Any breeding suggestions? Considering you can't breed a divine? No, there's no breeding suggestions for that. What's the best breedable? Depends on what you're going for, but none of them are particularly good. Pixie has its uses, and so do a couple of the others, but compared to Divines and Ancients, not even close. Can we start judging dragon names? Maybe next time. Maybe next time. So then we've got this one here, by Old Pingable. This is also an example of what not to do. Because unfortunately, this person has used 3 of the exact same dragon. But one benefit of this really early on, surprisingly, is that because they've all got the exact same elements, you're only going to require 3 temples. So in the short term, they're probably going to speed through the map. The problem becomes that they're only going to have 3 elements for events, and they're still leveling up 3 dragons, so it's still going to cost them a lot of food. Don't ever use the same dragon twice in a team. It's not a good idea, because all of them having pretty much the exact same elements is a bad idea. Well, obviously he's got wind, so technically it's 4. Well, it is 4, but don't use the same dragons twice, and they would have been progressing quicker if they just used 2 of them rather than 3. Don't do it. Emperor with Magnet. If you want to breed Crystal, it's not really that good though. Should I replace Prairie with Carnival? Then I will use a rare sigil for area damage and purity. Oof. This is another oofies. Because this is backwards. This is a backwards set of sigils again. Okay, let's go through this. Silver is here. Indeed he is. Biggest problem here is that we have a Wonder and we have an Acceptance, but for some reason they're not on the Divine. Why are they not on the Divine? I don't see what benefit Ford actually gains instead of the infinitely better gain that we would have from having that Wonder on Loki Dragon. So first of all, Loki gets put in slot 1, give him Wonder Acceptance. Slot 2, you could put the Legendary. You could also give him Wonder Acceptance if you wanted. But slot 3, you've still got the Earth Shield, so you could give him Wonder Acceptance as well. That's also possible. If you don't really want to use the Earth Shield, then you could give him Acceptance Havoc, possibly. But that low-key should be in slot 1 with Wonder Acceptance. That's like a... There's no reason that that can't happen because we can see that they've got the sigils for it. That's like rule number 1, he should have had Wonder Acceptance so that he could bless everyone. With Mass Bless, of course. Hello, Afra! You started this game 2 months ago, you don't have any divines, please help me. Keep playing the current Ancient event, try and get an Ancient. You probably won't, but you might. When a Divine event comes, play the Divine event, get the Divine. You know, in the meantime, put some high damage sigils on your first 2 dragons. Try and use epics, because epics are better than the other options out there when you begin. And when you do get divines and ancients, swap to them. So, we got Ahmed. Hello, Quacks. My modified team, I am still trying to make it more powerful and unbeatable. I am awakening 3rd element of Cleric and making rare or epic versions of power synergy sigils. So that they are unlocking their 3rd element on the legendary, but this concerns me. Making rare or epic version of power synergy sigils. You see, synergy itself only really matters before you get divines. As soon as you get the Wonder boost, like the Wonder Acceptance Bless boost, the synergies don't really matter. They do very slightly, but they're not important enough to not take the Bless power up. So, for this team, in the meantime, they're gonna unlock that final element on their legendary, so then they could put 2 high damage sigils on him. And this would basically just be 3 dragons with high damage sigils. 3rd one, maybe give it a rebirth. But there's not a lot you can do with this team early on. Not a lot, but of course Master, rather than giving it Purity Witchcraft, I would say Purity Daredevil is a much better option. Because, again, you can zuck back all of the damage that you deal. So, I would say you could keep Master in 1st slot or put King in 1st. But I'm glad that they said that they were unlocking that 3rd element, because otherwise, up to this point, King was not very good. King shouldn't have been used until he had that 3rd element. How can you get an easy divine for free? Play the divine event and hope it's free to play, friendly. Is it hard to get sumo? No. No. Ah! The edge of my schnozy is itchy! Yeah, anyone that has breeding questions, I may go through the Dragons of the Month, but if you want an immediate answer, go to DML Planner. Like, if you want to know how to breed Sparkler, there's a button here that says Sparkler, click the breed button, and then it shows you the combos. Or the combo and the possible outcomes. That's all it takes. You want to be able to breed Bounty Hunter in the top right, you click his combos button, and it shows you all the combos for him. So, if you ever want to know how to breed a particular dragon, you go to the DML Planner website, you click Reverse Breeding, and say you want to know how to breed Stardust. Then we click Stardust, Breed, shows you the best combos for Stardust. You don't have to wait 18 hours for a response from anyone else. You can do it yourself in about 3 seconds using DML Planner. So, anyone that doesn't use this website but still asks breeding questions, it would be infinitely quicker for you. Do it like this. You watched my videos from years ago? Lovely. Would you respond in your Discord server or only on these live streams? I'm in the Discord server every day, multiple times a day. So yes, I respond on Discord. I respond to Discord DMs when I'm obviously not in the middle of streaming. Do you know how to transfer your game data over to another device? Game loss support. Game loss support do that. But anyway, we went through that one. You know, I hope that they could get some divines and such for that team. What should I use for my team? I am using the Ranger, Vortex, and Prairie, and they only seem to have really common sigils available. So I'm opening up this, and again, the first thing I'm noticing is that they've got legendaries, but they don't have their 3rd elements unlocked. Because, for example, if we had Melly the Ranger, or Pharaoh actually. If we unlock both elements on Pharaoh, say, if we gave Pharaoh Purity Daredevil, and then obviously had level 6 upgrades on all of our elements, then Pharaoh could just suck up back all of the health that he deals, and then he'd probably be okay on his own for a good while. But until then, I would recommend that they swap over to that Harpy Dragon as their third, and Harpy can either put up shields, he can just be the meat shield, but I don't like the thought of leveling up both of these legendaries because they both have Void and they obviously both have Legendary, so the unique elements would be really, really low. So I'd actually just pick one of these and stop leveling up the other one. Let's not smash things on my desk. That's what I would do. Probably. Until then, I'd probably actually level up the Harpy. One of the legends in the Harpy, because I just don't like duplicating elements as much as physically possible, and you've got the option of not doing that, so that's why I would avoid it. Your account got deleted 2 years ago. It had 3 legendaries, which probably isn't a lot for you, but I have recently started again. Well, you know, you can get to level 60 in like a month, less than a month, in like... Actually, you could get to 60 in probably about 10 days. You can probably get to level 60 in about 10 days of gameplay, so, you know, it sucks having to restart, but it's not the end of the world, especially if you can get some divines early on. Anyway, if we go down to Pugnik99, let's have a look at Pugnik's team, shall we? This is loading so slowly. Oh my goodness. Have we gone back to like 1990? Anyway, after all of that, get the bird, maybe later. Is it possible to transfer your account data from Android to iPhone? You can't link them, you're going to have to do a full transfer through Gameloft support. What's better, Healing Light or Dazzling Aura? Normally Dazzling Aura is infinitely better. The only exception is if you're using Healing Light in a gimmick team in the dungeon. That's really the only time. Anyway, coming back to this screenshot, we have a Divine, which only has 2 elements unlocked. This is also Heresy. You should have all 3. The thing is, with this team, I can see he's got Wonder Acceptance on the Divine, which is what we want. However, the biggest problem is that we don't have Acceptance on any of the other 2. Because if you have Wonder Acceptance on your main Divine, but you don't put Acceptance on the other dragons in the team, you are not going to get anywhere near as much of a bonus. So these other 2 dragons, the Love and Mr. Troz, should also have Acceptance on them. They should both have Acceptance, and then Rose you could either give Havoc or you could give Witchcraft, and Troz you could, well, maybe you could put Havoc on Rose and a Witchcraft on Troz, and I'd probably put Troz in second so that then you can use Wind straight away with him, and then Rose you can AoE. But needs his Earth Shield just in case it ever becomes useful. And he does need level 6 upgrade on his Shadow, and all of the dragons need Acceptance. Otherwise you're not going to gain the big bonus HP and the big bonus health and such, damage and such. So they need Acceptance. Yeah, I don't understand why people restart in DML, because it's not one of those games where you actually can screw yourself over that much. It's not really any way you can truly screw yourself over in DML if you don't do a certain thing by a certain level. If anything, restarting just only holds you back further. So it doesn't make sense. If you spent your gems badly, maybe you did the wrong things in game, it doesn't actually matter because you can just stop doing them. You don't need to restart. You don't need to restart. I don't know, it's always been weird to me why people do it, but anyway. Anything I should change in my team? I'm thinking of adding Pisces once it hatches. I'm level 29. Pisces. It's another one of those situations where the legendary shouldn't have been used until it was level 30 with that final element unlocked. But I would say until that point, Harpy should be dragon number 1. And, you know, I can see that they've got a cruelty, but cruelty plus another damaging sigil, like Daredevil, would probably be better. Put him in first slot, and then when Hawk does get his third element, Purity Daredevil on him and put him in first slot. That's really all that they can do at this point, but, you know, that should easily clear Thunderwolf if they do that. Easily. How to farm more food? I don't have enough gold. Progress on the map, do more map battles, get more gold, get more food. But yeah, it's weird, I don't know. Account restarts, bleh. So, X3, is Wanderer Acceptance good with Metal and Earth buffs? I have Agent Dragon, Earth Metal Void, I have 2 times Purity plus Daredevil, and the Agent has Rebirth and Defiance. I was wondering if it's better to go with Wanderer Acceptance. I know that Divine Bluff plus Wander plus Acceptance is best, but I don't know if it's good with Metal and Earth buffs. Now, it is a good question. Yes, I will equip the better versions of Purity and Daredevil once I see which option is better. I also have Uncommon Wonder. It is tough deciding really early on what you want to do, because using Wander Acceptance on an Earth Dragon, it's not necessarily bad. It's just, usually I find that you end up progressing a lot quicker if instead of using them you just throw in 2 damage sigils instead. Because sometimes if you've got, say, Cruelty plus a Daredevil or something like that on the first dragon, sometimes you can just clear entire map battles without pretty much breaking a sweat if you get lucky with the crit. And that means you can beat a higher level fight than you normally would have been able to. But if you get super stuck at a point and you physically cannot move forward, obviously up until Mini you can also hire. So until you beat Mini, you can just hire your friends' dragons to keep you going through the map. I would say that just because of how good the Divine buff is, it does make Earth having Wanderer Acceptance seem a bit bad. So even though I don't think it's a poor decision, I still think it's probably better having, you know, I can see they've got Purity Daredevil on Simi. I think it's probably better if they put the Harpy in first with either Purity Daredevil or Cruelty Daredevil and just trying to steamroll the map. Because until you get good Divine buffing, Earth and that doesn't come to its full potential, unfortunately. That's just how the game's balanced. So that's what I would do, and that's pretty much what I did on my Android account. So, you know, that's my general advice to any newer players with lower level teams. Able to get 1,000 tickets, it's impossible. She purchased 8-ball. Nope, I did not buy a single ticket. The way that I got all those tickets was through grinding in the dungeon endlessly. Kinda sucks that I kept getting power outages, so otherwise I'd probably easily have 1,500 to 2,000 tickets and I probably would have gotten Yoskar. But that's what we got the final dungeons for, right? Block lead. I have these 4 good dragons and I will have Stardust Dragon Yeet. Okay, so I have question, which 3 dragons should I use? I'd basically just pick out any 3 that have the least amount of shared elements possible. And again, I don't really like running Purity Witchcraft. I prefer running Purity Daredevil or Daredevil plus Witchcraft, personally. But, see, all these dragons have more or less the same elements. I don't know. I would say they need epics with different elements than this, really. Because no matter what we do, we're going to be duplicating here. Obviously, Fior could... or Gabbo and Vicky. I don't know, I don't really like putting any of these together. In an ideal world, we want to not duplicate, and none of these really fit very well together for that. I can understand why people might have both Orange and Prairie if they've only got those temples unlocked, but if you have more than just those temples... Yeah, I don't like any of it. I don't like the options here. If you ever get to a point like this where all of your dragons have the same elements, you should probably start looking or pre-planning to use a dragon that doesn't have the same elements in the squad, because otherwise you'll run into this where no matter what you do, you're duplicating. You don't really ever want to get to that point if you can help it. Especially with epics, there's not really any excuse for duplicating. So, who wants me to donate? You can donate if you want, it's not up to me. You're on the last step to open the multi-open chest. Very cool, Ahmed. Where we can use gem, my phone battery gone off. What? Gem? Where is our level 100 ceremony? It's in the works. It's in the works, okay? It's not been ignored. Not been forgotten. It's in the works. Okay? One day it will be there. Anyway, moving on. Bunga! These are my top 6 dragons. Any suggestions on who to keep using? I am working on enchanting Kipo, the terracotta. I don't remember if I already gave Bunga advice or not. But, we don't have a lot of options here. I will say that as a legendary on a team, Naor is actually not bad. If you could get a divine at some point, then Naor, the Leo, is actually pretty good for a legendary because he's got fire and light, so 2 pretty decent AoE attacks. So, until then, I would probably end up using Kipo and Naor. And then I'd probably leave the 3rd slot open, just in case you get an ancient or something. But those 2 together, I can see them working pretty well. You've got the earth, you've got the water, you've got the metal, you've got fire, you've got legend, and you've got light. That's pretty good. Just those 2 alone for a little while. Keep leveling up those 2, take you through the map. That's pretty solid, actually. I like it. You have Musical and a Lilith. Who is better? And please tell me who is better, Hathor or Freya, as I have both. Completely depends on the full team that you're putting them into. Because if you're just duplicating elements, then it's not going to be good for you. You need to tell me your full entire team if you're going to, you know, throw out things like that. But good chance Autumn will keep returning in bundles for money. We don't actually know. We don't actually know if that's going to happen or not. Anyway, which dragons do I need to breed Bounty Hunter? I've already made the breeding guide for that. Like, oh my goodness. Am I seeing this right? Look at all these dragons. And then there's just a molelim. There's just a molelim there. It doesn't even have his 3rd element. You know, it's one of these things where it's like, some players won't get ancients or divines until they have like dragon level 50, and then there's some people that just happen to have a molelim at dragon level 20. Ah, Gameloft. DML is so fair. So fun and fair for all. Anyway. S1 has a virtually invincible team, 3 ancient water energy, all epic. That's not actually that good. If it's a common dash rare dragon, it's normally not worth ascending. Yeah, if you're not ascending limited time dragons, and usually legendary or above, actually only legendaries I ascend, not worth it. Hello, Alexander. Which one? Stone Cold or Tombstone? Technically this isn't team advice, but Stone Cold is useful in the regular map. So say you had that meat shield. What you can do is you can give that meat shield Rebirth and you can give it Stone Cold, or you can give a different dragon Stone Cold. But in any other scenario when it's not really map or arena, usually Tombstone is better. Especially dungeon. Tombstone is really good for dungeon. You're really struggling on this fight against Stinky. So first thing that I would say is that putting Cat the Skeleton in 1st slot and giving him Purity Daredevil would probably be the best bet. So you put him in slot 1, give him Purity Daredevil, use Shadow, hope that Stinky gets frightened, and then hopefully Stinky only takes out one of your dragons, and then you could have a Purity Daredevil on Log. Yeah, put Log in second, give him Purity Daredevil. That should probably be a done and dusted fight, I imagine. That's how you'd take on Stinky. And then you could give Dragon 3, say, Rebirth. I think giving the third dragon a Rebirth, just in case he does attack that one, after a couple of tries, he might end up one-shotting all of them with fire first attack, but you wait until he misses, and then easy win fight. Easy win fight against Stinky. Is War and Seed a good combo for the Dragon of the Month? The best combos are all in that breeding guide video. All of them. If the dragon has limited time, regardless of its rarity, it'll give good materials. Disagree. Unless you're a legendary, you don't really give me anything of value. Because you get to a point in DML where all the other elements, you have more than enough for all of the other elements in game in terms of enchantment materials, but legendary, divine, ancient are really hard to get. Well, they're not hard, but they require an awful lot of grinding. It's actually very good they have evasion and crazy high attacks. No. I can assure you their team's not very good. Because the amount of people I run into in the arena that have evasion and they all get one shot is unreal. In fact, I'll go and do some arena fights for you straight after this and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Whatever you think is good, from the sounds of it, it's not. Not even close. It sucks that legendary materials are hard to get, I know, especially considering how much worse legendaries are these days, but they've never thought to rebalance it. Anyway, we've got this post here from another deleted user. I am not stuck, I just want you to give some advice. That's fair, that's fair. Then we got this little screeny here. We've got Kim, Uban, and Nyak. And you see, this is sort of what I do suggest. This is ideal, I would say. This is ideal, except maybe what I'd do is instead of having Purity Daredevil on Uban, I'd put it on their Radiant as well, because, you know, he also has Void. And so put him in second, Uban in third. This is basically what you do with a team until you get Divine and Ancient. This is what you do. This is what I've been explaining pretty much this whole time. You get, ideally, a Void Dragon, give it Purity Daredevil, and you just go through the map. If you can put it on Dragon 2 as well, go ahead. Another Void Dragon. Go. Zuck. Zuck. And that is pretty much what you do until you get that Divine Bless. This is pretty much what I want to see when people send in, you know, suggestions or, like, is this team okay? Until you do get the Blesses, until you do get the Ancients. For the map, this is really good. And that's why they said they're not struggling. They said they're not struggling with the map, and that's why they're not struggling. Because they're using that combo correctly. That's what I like to see. A very good deleted user. Harpy. Yeah, I do like Harpy. He's cute, isn't he? He's a cute boy. You have a Punewin level 20, but you're only level 28 to 29. Alexander, you see, you've actually been gifted with so much luck that it's actually going to take you a while to be able to use that dragon. If you get Divines and Ancients really early, you're actually not going to be able to use their level 6 skills. So, even though I think you could probably keep it in as your third slot dragon possibly, you need to get those level 6 upgrades, which means that you need lots of DCP. So if you happen to get a Divine or an Ancient at like level 20, you're still going to be better off using Epics in the short term. And plus, if you use Epics in the short term until you get those level 6 upgrades unlocked, they're also going to help you with upgrading temples. So you might have Punewin, but you might not be able to properly use them yet. So in the meantime, get 2 Epics if you can, and level them up. And you could either level up the 2 Epics on their own and ignore the Ancient, or you could level up 3 of them at once. It's kind of different in your scenario, but Yeah, it's going to take a while for you to get the DCP that you need, because that's just what DML's like these days. I wish it wasn't like that, but... You're lucky, so lucky, that you can't actually use the dragon that you've gotten. Rest in rip. You love me and my channel. Oh, thank you, Francisca. You spent 199 gems for the rocket. Is it worth it? Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't like hearing that. No, that was a terrible decision. Sorry. Oof. Sucks to be you. Sorry. Can we stupid of the crazy? I don't know. Can you stupid of the crazy? What does that even mean? I don't know. Surprise me. And that does not mean spam chat. That is not stupid of the crazy. That's just stupid. Is Divine Dragons gone almost? Are we going to get any of the big Divine 1 month events? We don't know yet. Divines are going to come back, I assure you, but we don't know exactly how they're going to come back anymore. Like, the last Divine event that we had was sort of different. It was mostly dungeon stuff. So we might get new versions of Divine events, but only Gameloft knows. So, should I keep using the Agent Dragon, or should I wait till I get the Iron and Void Temples? So this is a good question for brand new players. I think they should wait, because until you actually get the temples unlocked for the various dragons, like Ellen in this case needs the Void Temple, Ellen isn't useful. So that's why if you use, say, the Prairie Dragon really early on, or Harpy if you get it soon, and just level those up, because you get Fire Temples early, you get you get the DCP for Fire early, Wind and Earth. So I think that that's the best thing. Just use the really simple dragons first, and then when you get the temples for the others, then you can consider using them. That's a good question for newer players, and I think it's something that lots of players sort of skip out on really early on. You like Garden? You can like Garden. It's not very good. Not particularly good for a team, but you can like the design. Understandable. You have like 200 plus enchanting materials for Divine and Ancient, but you don't have a single Divine or Ancient. Well, that's good, because you're going to need a hell of a lot more than that. You're going to need a hell of a lot more than that for both of those. You've got 70 VIP tickets. Should I use one every day? If you don't have VIP active, yes, because VIP gives you bonus rewards for everything that you pretty much do in game in terms of like resource gathering. So yeah, I think you should usually, but if you're not going to be logging in, don't use them, obviously. How to change your age in DML? You've got to go through customer support for that. You are in school, you hope you don't in treble. Well, I can't really help you there, that's sort of your own fault. So these are my top 10. Any idea on who to use? Is this the same as before? Is this the same person as before? Oh, it is Bunga. Yes. Same as what I just said before for Bunga. I would say Kipo and Nail. I like those two. Keep those two. Bunga. So, I'm thinking of adding Bounty Hunter. Which sigil should I put on him? Again, I can't really answer a question like that because it depends on their entire team. What is your Discord name? Are you asking me that or other people? Because my Discord, as it says on screen, is just quackalakes, and the quackalakes server is the one that, you know, we all chat in, send these in. Actually, your breed of the week, you get the Dragon Legendary, but it was 6 days again. I am so sad. I have no idea what you just tried to say there, Ahmed. I am sorry. I don't know. I don't know what you were trying to say. Okay, we've got this one here. This one's looking positive. Swapnil. Did we do yours before? Ah, this is their upgraded team. I think they did do the Wonder Acceptance. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yes, I like it, I like it. So, like I said before with Swapnil, see, because this has been a little bit of time between screenshots, they've done Wonder Acceptance. Love it. I've got the Acceptance on the other two dragons. Fantastic. I don't know why LOL has Wonder. I don't know why LOL has Wonder. LOL shouldn't have Wonder. But LOL, you can give him... Genuinely, you can give him Daredevil and use Void. And then Laura, you could also give him Havoc. And then, again, that's a solid team at that point. But I don't know why LOL has Wonder. LOL has no reason to have Wonder. Please take the Wonder off LOL, if you have not already. Please. It's confusing me a little bit. Is it a good thing to level up the Blesser before level up everyone else? Depends. Depends. The thing is, when you bless, your Blesser's probably also going to get a turn 2 attack in anyway, so it still does benefit you for it to be leveled up. But normally with Divines, I actually prefer running 2 dragons at the same level. If you don't have Divines or Ancients, sometimes I prefer just using 1 main dragon usually. But if you do have a Blesser, I prefer having 2 dragons at the same level at least. If you want to use 3, that's up to you if you want to have it for castle events. It's not as fast, but, you know, you can do that. But I actually do prefer, when you've got Divines, to use 2 at once. So. Well, yeah, that's the thing with LOL. Either, you're right, either you can use the Daredevil on him, or you can use Havoc. You've got options, that's the thing. Rather than using Wonder, you've got different options that you can go with. You're right, you don't have to use Daredevil. I kind of do like it sometimes. I've seen it happen a few times with people using it on the map, and it's actually quite good having the healing back. But they can also use Havoc on LOL. It's just, if they're running low on Sigils and they can only afford 1 AoE attack, then they could either put it on LOL or Loro. And because Loro does have metal, he would actually be better off with the Wonder. Yeah, it's just, these 2 top Sigils need to be changed, and then that is a pretty decent team. Please, 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 please play a new game. I've been uploading a new game on the channel this week, Venita. Come on. Anyone here a Filipino? No, I am an Inglando. Anyway, we've got Atix here, who has posted, which dragon should I use or feed? I'm already seeing the 2 that I would pick. I also have a level 4 Ratatoska. For now, I don't think we actually need anything else except for Harpy and Bobber. Even though that is a duplicate element, I think they'll get some more dragons before long that they can use instead. But for really early game, which this is, I think using Bobber and Moak is a good idea. Because the other dragons that they had still weren't really... Yeah, they're really earth-heavy dragons and defensive, which I wouldn't like. So I'd just use those 2 for now. Read some more stuff, take part in some more events, get some more cool stuff, and go from there. But Bobber, again, he'll be level 30 in 2 levels, so getting that shadow unlocked will be very helpful if they do keep using Bobber. Anyway, should I put Yolhan on my dragon team? Why are these dragons called 1, 2, 3, 4, and why are they out of order? You'll give me £1 to do a push-up? I mean, I could do a push-up, but you wouldn't be able to see it. Have I played Fortnite? I have seen Fortnite. I obviously know what it is. I think I played it for a small child when they went to the toilet once. And that was it. Okay to use Druid. I don't really like Druid that much, but that's only because he's not a Divine or an Ancient. He can have his uses if he's your only legendary, say, but it depends on your full team. You know this website? Do it anyway? You want me to do a random push-up? Okay. Okay. 1 sec. Can you see me? Can you see me through that? Is that what you're seeing it through? That was a loud noise. Did you see it? Did you see my special surprise? Oh, that was hard work. Must drink. Oh my god, Slacks is down it. Thank you, Slacks, for your £1 donation. Although I say donation, technically you did ask me to do a push-up and we did it, so I'll take it. Lovely, lovely. Do you like apple juice? There is nothing wrong with apple juice for me. I would say normally juice is full of a lot of sugar, which I don't like, but... Can we have your new parrot again? I'll check how he's doing in a minute. Because the problem with the new parrot is that he doesn't actually... I can get him on my arm. But if you get him on your arm, he hops off usually before you can get him out of the cage. Whereas Gandhi, he'll just come in the room. Gandhi doesn't care. But the other parrot, I might struggle getting him. Maybe I'll do it in a couple of minutes though. Can you please say... Meow? What, it is like a mareep? What are my PC specs? What exactly do you want to know? I've got a 1080 in here. I've got my big beefy 140 Hz monitor. And my processor is old. My motherboard is old. I don't remember what they are. They're old. They're like 5, 6 years old now. What's better, Heroic Jewel or Heroic Healing Jewel, usually? I'm the best? No, you. Anyone can donate for me. I do push up 100 million times. Do it, Kevin. You've said it now. You've got to do it now. Don't puss out. Oh, come on. Osiris only spammed like 6 times. It's fine, right? Don't you want to play DML on PS5? It would be infinitely slower. No, I don't want to play DML on a PS5. Jesus. Anyway, coming back to here, what was the actual question? Should I put Yolhan on my team? You need Yolhan? Oh, I guess it's plant water. I guess they want the water, I guess? Why do we have 4 dragons at level 80? I'm confused. I'm so confused. Why do we have 4 dragons at level 80? You get a high off of timing out children. Yes, that's what I like to hear. Is Berserker better than Purity? They're not necessarily better, but the straight bonus you get for Purity on its own obviously only activates when you're at full HP. So, lots of times I actually do prefer Berserker over just a single Purity. I usually only like using Purity when it's Purity plus Daredevil. Usually. If you use Cruelty, the Heroic Jewel tastes better. I don't want to even ask what you've been doing with your sigils. I don't even want to ask. What time is it? It is 1 PM, as you can see in the bottom right. I think you can see it anyway. But yeah, this is confusing me. Why we have 4 dragons at level 80. This is weird. And then a level 71. What? Why do we have a Stardust at level 70? Oh no. Oh, and they've all got sigils on. Oh no, it gets worse. Oh no. It gets worse and worse the more I look. Okay, Silver. Okay, Silver. You've spent 50 gems to cross a level in Cocoon. Is it really worth? No. Not if you're low on gems, no. But, you know, obviously I'd recommend putting... The Divines don't even have Wonder Acceptance. Oh no. What is going on with this team? Yeah, the more I look, the more confused I become. What? Look, one of these Divines needs Wonder Acceptance. And then past that point, again, either the Divine in first slot or the Ancient in first slot. But if you were gonna use one of the Divines in first, Wonder Acceptance, you bless. Then the Ancient uses Ancient. And then the third dragon could either be the other divine, or it could be the torch. Because then you could have a legendary divine and an ancient, which obviously isn't as good in the dungeon, but it is better if you want more unique elements. So you could easily go with the Anubis, plus Artoba, plus the torch, and that would actually be really solid for unique elements as well. Obviously, if you wanted a dungeon team, you'd probably take the loss on the duplicated elements, but if you value finishing events easier, then the other three are probably better together. But you don't need any more than 3, ever. You shouldn't be using more than 3. You have 3 legendary only? It's better than none. Better than none. That's for sure. Link for the Discord server doesn't work. It does work, but it may just be that you need to verify yourself before you can chat. Because the link should be working. Or if it doesn't work on this one, click it in any other video and it should work. This person has 420 dragons. Good for them. Keldron, you suck. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I tried to click a button, it said another moderator just handled this. Well, good to know. Is the hatchery only up to level 5? Yes. You don't really need a level 5 hatchery though. Only if you've got 2 breeding dens, and even then, you won't always need 5 slots. What is the best sigils to use or upgrade? If you've got Divines, Wonder Acceptance, or nearly 100% of the time. Do you have any team advice? This is my team right now. Obviously it's early game, so not a lot we can do, but maybe another epic thrown in there. And then again, I would give the epics really high damage sigils. So rather than a Rebirth Wonder, I would give him, no, Purity Daredevil. And then on the other one, Purity Daredevil. And then that will take them through this fight easily. But getting more sigils is important. Upgrading their attacks is important. So, early game, there's not much more you can do aside from Purity Daredevil or Cruelty and taking on the fights. Wonder what Dragon of the Month will be next. It's actually in-game. It shows us in-game which one it's going to be. So you don't have to wonder, you can know. Finally, the timeout was done. I did nothing to deserve it. You did spam a few times. To be fair, if we were really, really uppity about it, you would have been banned anyway. But anyway, Dr. Tava has sent in these screenshots, so they're trying to beat this one against the Rastafaris from the looks of it. Let's have a look. Let's look at Dr. Tava's team. So, we don't have any divines, but we do have 3 legendaries to work with, and it looks like they've picked out 1 legendary that they do want to use. That's great, because he actually has 3 elements. And then we've got epics. So yeah, I do like this. I do like this so far. However, these dragons all have acceptance, and I'm not really sure why, because they're not really gaining any great buffs from having acceptance. So, in the meantime, Gabbo, again, even though he is an Earth dragon, part Earth, I think you could still give him Purity Daredevil and get through that fight easily. And then dragon number 2, you could also give a Purity Daredevil. So either Dean or Pyog. Purity Daredevil would be good on Pyog actually, because he does have Void. So that's a good option for Pyog. Yeah, Pyog would go good with it. So you could do that with Pyog, and then Dean, I don't know, you could give him a few different things really, but, you know, rather than having acceptance on these dragons, give him a damaging sigil, and then they'll beat some higher level fights. When you finish all the dragon collections and have all ancient divines, my time has come. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. You stopped playing for 2 months and so many things have happened? Not really. There's new sigil contests, there's the ancient event. Not that much has really happened, to be honest, but I guess things have happened. Sorry, I'm a new player, but I played 3 years ago. Weird flex, but okay. And I want to know if this is good. So, Ryan, he has Cruelty. and Havoc. We've got Acceptance as well, so we've got a few uncommons so far. And they're trying to beat this fight. Okay. Is Lilith Musical and Agent Dragon's team good? Not really. quackalakes is a baby duck of me. You might want to ask him that before he times you out. For dissing him. That is me. Well, yeah. Here so far, you know, there's not a lot that you can do with these dragons. I would say level 6 upgrades are a must. You need to get them upgraded as soon as possible. Upgrade that upgrade the academy, get those level 6 upgrades. That'll be much better for you. And Cruelty, Purity, again, that's an okay combo. Daredevil, Purity, that's also good. So, if you do get level 6 Void unlocked with Purity Daredevil, that's going to be super, super good for you with Snap. And Ichim, again, having that combo is pretty good. And then Tommy might not last because he is in the 3rd slot. So you could give him Rebirth and Evasion or something and use him as the meat shield while these two just, you know, wapow, wapow. But I think that'll be okay for now until you do get some Ancients and Divines. Of course, as soon as you do get a Divine and an Ancient, I would swap them in. But that's okay for now. Just get those level 6 upgrades upgraded. Any sigils for Reindeer? If you've got a Divine, then you could give him Acceptance. I don't know. If you wanted to use Wind, obviously you can give him Witchcraft. If you wanted the healing, you could give him Wonder. But you're not going to get a massive amount of gain out of giving him Wonder, but you still will get bonus healing, which might be good enough. Are you excited for Cartomancy Collection? What is Cartomancy Collection? Am I supposed to know? Is this something I've spoken about before? I don't know what it is. Anyway, we've got I, who is a Minecraft chicken. Okay, chicken, we'll help you out. So we've got these 3. Another legendary that doesn't have their 3rd element unlocked. But honestly, I think Purity Daredevil on Yukari, the orange, would be good for now. But there's not really good things that you can do with these dragons, but Kyoko, when he gets to level 30, does need that legendary element. I mean, the shadow element. Why do I keep saying the wrong thing? Shadow element. And then I don't know, there's not much great things you can do with these, but using these 2 mains with high damage sigils, level 6 upgrades, I'd say work on that for now, and then see what other dragons you get. You got a notification saying the UK will get polar snow? When? When you quit DML before Sigils and Enchantment were added, then come back, what is this? It's not that complicated, to be honest. Best sigils for Yolhan, and this I need for healing and mass leech. Depends on your team. Why do you not get rare sigils from premium boxes? There's only a chance. It's not guaranteed. Collect all Dragon of the Month every month like the Fool and the Emperor to get Astrologist. Indeed. Indeed. So, now we've got Licorice Looter. I have those 4 epic sigils. If all of the dragons had max enchants, what would be the ideal campaign map comp versus dungeon team, and what would be their ideal sigils? Oh, we got lots of level 100s here. So, we've got a lot of different dragons here. We have an epic. What? This has pained me. I hope this is photoshopped, I really do. I really do hope that this is photoshopped. Oh, You see, this is painful. This is a really painful screenshot because we have epic sigils on this team and we've got 4 of them somehow. But we've got a wonder on a dragon that can't use it. We have purity on a dragon that's better for his havoc use. And we have yummy. Why does that even... I'm like, how did you even get this epic sigil? Yeah, I know they've been playing 6 years. That makes it more painful. But look, I'm not here to actively flame people, but this is just really... This is painful to me because you could have been doing so many more better things with these dragons already. And I can only imagine how much having these sigils like this has held you back for a long time. Again, assuming this isn't a complete joke screenshot, which I kind of hope it is. I don't want to flame. I genuinely do not want to flame this person. But none of the divines have wonder acceptance to begin with. When, you know, we've got 3 different divines here which could have used that. Shink, for example, doesn't even have any sigils. But Shink could have wonder acceptance because he's got metal, he's got ancient, and he's got divine. But having all 3 of those, if you wanted to use all 3 elements, it would be kind of tough. But you could have given wonder acceptance to him, wonder acceptance to Glitch, wonder acceptance to Ra, and that already, because you've got the epic wonder, would have put you way ahead of where you are right now. And then you could put wonder acceptance on Shink again, and he could use his mass bless, and then again you'd get even more buffs, and then that would boost your team more. And then if you wanted to use one of the legends, for example, you could give Bubble, just as an example, you could give him acceptance and havoc, because he's not gaining much from having Daredevil purity. He's not really gaining anything from having Daredevil purity. You might have just put it on there to have Daredevil purity dragons, which is understandable. But Bubble's probably not the best option. Maybe you've also got Yummy and Moon in there for the healing. In which case, they should have... I don't know, neither of them are good to have Wonder Acceptance, really. Yeah. I don't know. Will the stream be available later? I hope so. But genuinely, the first major change with this team... I know that Shink isn't fully upgraded, like fully maxed out, and I know that Ra isn't either, but if you wanted, in the short term, to just gain a hell of a lot more damage and health, give Ra, because he's nearly maxed out, give him the Wonder Acceptance. Just do it, straight away. And Shink, you want to get him maxed as soon as possible, but Wonder Acceptance on Ra for right now. And then... so many things could have gone differently with this team, it's just kind of sad. And I get they've probably done it because they don't have the enchantment stars, but Ra, give him Wonder Acceptance, and then give acceptance to the other 2 dragons. If you want to have healing, give it to Yummy, for example. You could even run 2 legendaries until you get those others fully upgraded, but I still think having Shink in the team is important with Wonder Acceptance, even though he's not fully upgraded. I still think it's important to have him. But he should be your top priority for upgrades. Ra should have Wonder Acceptance, and then you can work around that. But things have to change. You can't... This isn't going to help you. So I do hope that they end up changing through a few things and swapping it around. He can bless, make the dragons more powerful in the battles, and can use Final Vengeance on guard. Exactly, he can do that. There's a lot of different things that this player could do. It's just a little bit disappointing that they're not using these dragons to their full potential, and they haven't been for a while now. But, you know, even though that's the past, you can change things, and that's the thing. You can change it, and then you can get better in the future. That's all that matters. I don't want to flame people for, you know, having weird sigils, It's just, it's painful when you know how powerful Wonder Acceptance is, and you don't see people using it on their divines, and you even have an Ancient that's just not being used just because he's not at full enchantment stars. I get it, he loses 8 levels, but the benefits are so much higher than 8 levels worth. So, you know, I hope that that ends up working out. You want a solar system collection? That would actually be pretty cool. Imagine that. You could have the planet dragon, then you could have like Saturn and Venus, and they could all have different types. That would be a really cool major event. Do you not think? Having dragons that are based around specific planets. I would like that, personally. I think that would be fun. Maybe that's just me. If you're a kid, that's even more reason why people should talk to you like that. Because it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. You should still be spoken to. Anyway, I like an offensive team, but I'll definitely take in mind any recommendations for the Sigils. I don't remember if we've actually gone through this person before, but... Okay, most of these dragons have Purity Daredevil, and normally that's a good decision. But it's not a good decision because this is a Hypnos. And you know what he is? He's yellow. He's a shiny yellow at that. He's not epic yellow. He's super shiny yellow. You know what that means? It means he's a divine. So even though he is a void, and Purity Daredevil is good on voids, he's a divine. Which means Wonder Acceptance is better on him. And same, if he was to use Bless in first slot, the other two could have Acceptance, and maybe Kozzy could also have a Wonder for the shield, or he could have a few different things, and then maybe Comet could have, well, he's got Metal as well. Depends on whether you want to use Metal or Plant, but if you're running low on Sigils, you can give him Witchcraft. He's already got Witchcraft on him, in fact. So... Hello, your channel is interesting and beautiful. I'm glad my channel is beautiful. Whatever that means. Thank you, Willow. You like how Hypnos sleeps in the habitats? Yeah, so do I. So I get the logic behind why this team is the way that it is, and it's not terrible. I do think that Hypnos probably should have been in slot 1 and a higher level than that, because he did have the Void, and he does have higher attack, I believe, than Kozzy. But I think they'd gain from putting an Acceptance Wonder instead. You know, the classic Bless comp would still be better. Can you please say hi to me? Hey Andy, I've mentioned your name like 6 times. Anywho, we're through from Zemi now. Bye boss! This is my dungeon team for grinding tickets next week. Would this work for a buffing team like yours without On Guard? Would my dragons survive for hours if they don't use energy? Okay, I'm gonna start this one off with nobody has an endless dungeon team anymore, as far as we're aware. Unfortunately, it did get buffed a lot in terms of the enemy dungeon level, so nobody now can actually do endless dungeon runs, so don't worry about that too much. But in terms of this dungeon team, it is quite a good one. The only problem is that because you do have the legendary there instead of a second divine, what's sometimes going to happen is you'll go against a plant dragon. And say Nito has... Unless Nito blesses every single turn, he may die on that second tick when he comes back to attack again. So essentially every single turn, Nito would have to bless. So it would be Nito blesses, Glan uses Ancient skill, then he'd probably use Earth the next time, and Phypos can do whatever. But any turn that Nito doesn't bless, when it comes back to his turn, he's going to be at threat of dying if he's taken a plant attack or shadow, for example. So as long as you keep track of when Nito has any DOT attacks on him, and you don't let that happen so the enemy doesn't have those attacks, then you'll be okay. But these sigils are so weird. I wasn't even looking at the sigils. Why do we have these sigils? No. Loki needs the acceptance, and Garden also needs the acceptance. And Glan would also benefit from having another wonder, because if you're going to use him for the shield, he would benefit from having that. And Firepost, you can give them Witchcraft, or you could also give them Wonder if you really needed the bonus healing, but Loki shouldn't have those sigils. He needs an acceptance if you want him to survive. They all need acceptance if you want them to survive in the dungeon with Bless. What is your more powerful dragon? Technically Erlang Shen, but I've got 7 level 100 fully maxed out dragons, so... You think in DML they should collab with Pokemon? It's a bit random. Yeah, I'm noticing the level differences. It's just, the question was mainly, this is my dungeon team? I'm just talking, obviously, if we were in an ideal environment where they were all the same level. But, you know, with such a level difference, you're not going to be able to grind for hours anyway, because it's going to be Glan usually just basically carrying the whole team. But whenever you've got a single dragon that's a much higher level, it's not going to last very long anyway. Again, it's not that I didn't notice the level difference, it's just I'm thinking more so in an ideal environment. Just these base dragons, what they can do in this dungeon, I don't think they could make it endless unless, again, they were paying attention to Nito, but the level difference makes it impossible. Discord link doesn't work, it says it has expired. Why is it saying this somewhere? Hang on. It shouldn't. The server link is right here. I've got it on screen, actually, you can't see that. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. If I try and update the... Can I edit the description from here? No, that's definitely the right link. No, that should be okay. Yeah, that definitely works. It should work. Anyway. Have I got any Divine Chest Dragons? Nope. What if you have a level difference but the other dragons are bad overall, but they are your eldest dragons? That sounds like an avoidable problem. That sounds like a very avoidable problem by not leveling up bad dragons. If you have sort of dug yourself into a hole, then again, until you do get your better dragons leveled up, you're not going to go on endless runs. It's not going to work. That sort of thing isn't going to happen. You might be able to progress on the map, but your endless runs aren't going to work out. But yeah, I definitely would recommend leveling up Loki a little bit more on this, because there's only so much that this person can do with the Ancient on his own. Especially in the dungeon. If you don't have even level dragons, you're gonna struggle a lot. What is my first divine? Hermes. Hermes. How many dungeon coins to get Autumn? Depends on your chest luck. Anyway, moving on to Awala. What do we have? Here's my current team. Should I change any sigils? They've got Subdue, Witchcraft. They don't have any acceptance. That kind of sucks. Because that's going to be the first thing that I'm going to say. Yeah, we've got a divine here. And Fico doesn't have his third element unlocked. He needs that third element unlocked, the Nezha. And then past that point, they really... Actually, they would have enough for acceptance to be upgraded if they hadn't given sigils to every dragon in the known universe. This is why you don't do this. Don't just put random sigils on all of your dragons, because in this situation, they'd have enough acceptances to upgrade into a rare. But because they've put random sigils on all their other dragons, they don't have enough now. So this has completely screwed over their team. So, what I would do here is keep leveling up Fico up to level 54, so it can be even with the others. Fico needs his third element. And then, what you can do with Fico, obviously Wonder Acceptance, get that buff going. I think that will benefit you a lot. Obviously, in the meantime, you can still keep using Daredevil Purity on Dusty. That's a good idea. I wouldn't really change that. I think that's still good. But Fico, getting him leveled up, will be infinitely more useful to your team than anything else. Hello, ma'am. Hello, Surajit. Can you tell me how to breed Crystal? Go on to the DML planner if you ever want to know how to breed anything. Do you have the Autumn Dragon? Yes. I've had an Autumn Dragon for a very long time. You also followed me on Twitch. Oh, I haven't touched Twitch in years. Like, genuinely, I don't think it has been years since I've actually uploaded anything or done anything on Twitch. Oh my god, Fire Guardian, stop! Yeah, you're gonna get timed out permanently at this rate. Yeah, he got permed. That's what happens when you keep spamming, Jesus. Anyway, Phoenix, I'm pretty sure I did yours before Phoenix. Oh, you actually upgraded that Ratatoska. I didn't want you to do that. No, I didn't want you to do that at all. Oh, no. Ah, well, I guess we've got the unique elements now, I guess. I guess it works out in the meantime, but yeah, just keep leveling up the epics here. The main dragons for a while. I, again, put high damage sigils on the main dragons and keep going through the map until you get some better options. And here's the upgraded version of the team from Swapnil. Again, Wonder's fine on Loro, but LOL, why does LOL have Wonder? LOL doesn't need Wonder. Get rid of the Wonder on LOL. Either give him AoE, or you can give him some sort of damage sigil to, like Daredevil, to go with the Void, and then your team is set, but you don't need the Wonder on him. Get rid of the Wonder on LOL. Please, get rid of it. Please unban him. If they spam the chat, they're gonna get bland. Bland? Yeah, they're gonna get bland. Can you tell me what is the rarest legendary? I don't know. I don't remember which one hasn't been released in a long time. Honestly, I don't know. Probably one of the old ones from like the first year or two of the game. How many people in your house? There are 2 people in my house, and there are 2 parrots. A parrot per person, shall we say. Anyway, I need advice for a 3rd dragon on my team. I was thinking about an ancient with Earth. I also need help with this fight. So this is Levi's team. Yin Yang? Possibly. Possibly. Will I upgrade any plant ancient dragons to level 100 if you've got all? Probably not anytime soon, no. Probably not anytime soon. So then this fight, you say you're struggling with this fight, Wonder Acceptance, pop him in slot 1. I know that Pixie's level 40, but you need your level 6 upgrade on your Divine. And when you get that, pop Aslan into slot 1, buff the whole team, and then you'll be good. And then in terms of a 3rd dragon, yeah, you'd benefit from getting an Ancient. An Ancient with possibly Earth and an AoE attack. Like maybe Earth. Actually, yeah, Solden would have been pretty good, wouldn't he? Solden would have been great. But the problem is, obviously, you don't always want to have a dragon that has AoE along with the Earth element. But if you just want it for the elements, then having Earth and Fire is not always a bad idea. Again, just for the sake of unique elements. But yeah, I think you'd definitely benefit from having at least an Ancient with Earth. So whenever you manage to get one of them, that would work in slot 3. Until then, I would suggest if you've got any epics at higher than level 15, use those with Rebirth Evasion. I can see you've got Rebirth Evasion, that's good. But try and throw on an epic that has unique elements if you can. Just for the sake of it. Do you think completing the double trouble is possible? It's possible, and it's definitely possible if you gem a few rounds to get the dragon. But depends if you're going for purple chest for Punwin, you're probably not going to do it naturally. which level you use to breed Pixie. I normally use level 20 plus. Level 20 plus to level 30. Usually. It's so very hard to breed an Emperor and Magnet. You'll get them naturally. You don't even need to try and focus on getting them. Anyway, we are actually getting through all of these requests. I think we're nearly done now. That's good. We're getting towards the end. We're getting towards the end. I'm gonna very quickly open up DML. And I'm gonna do that breed so that we can get our bonus quest. And then after that, I'm gonna BRB for a couple of minutes. And then we'll come back, we'll finish off the rest of these requesties for now. I think that's gonna be the plan. What do I think of Turkey? I am so glad that Turkey has become the world leader for gay pride. That fills me with nothing but joy. Quackalakes, how to breed a... How to breed a... I don't read DMs while I'm streaming for very, very obvious reasons, because if people send me anything, I do not want that being shown on stream. Think about it. I'm not that stupid. I'm not quite that stupid, and I'm not gonna randomly read DMs while I'm streaming unless I want to get banned. Have you already done the one with Cosmo, Hypno, and Carmine? I have no idea. I've been through like 50. What's on the mug? Can you see it? This is not my mug. I would never have bought this mug. How to breed a narwhal? I've already done breeding guides for all of the base legends. Did I get Sinister? Yeah, I think I did. How'd you breed an Emperor? Use DML Planner! Even though I could tell you right now, use DML Planner. What's in this? Fanta Zero. What, you think I'm drinking tea in a teacup? Do you think how much point need to get per every dice event? Duty 300 to 400? Or... I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Charizard. Sorry. Are you friends with GameX and Mar Games? No. What did I say? What did I say? You don't need to ask other people how to breed a dragon when it's held you right there and then. You can just use the DML planner. You can find out 20 different breeds. Is Autumn Dragon very good to become Strongest Dragon? No, not anymore. Maybe 3 years ago. Not anymore. Anyway. What were we doing? We were doing our collect 3 epic keys. That's what we were doing. Normally I wouldn't do it like this. I'd probably take it or make it take a little bit longer, but I just want this quest done. There we go. Plus 600. We get another piece of orange wing. Lovely. So we'll sit on this dragon board screen for now. Are you a girl? I thought you were a boy. I was a girl last I checked, but I might have changed. Is it still possible to breed the first legendaries like Pixie without Dragon of the Month? Yes. The Pixie, Narwhal, Vortex dragons are still in the game. You can breed them at any time. The Dragons of the Month are limited time. What's DML Planner? DML Planner is this link right here. DML Planner. DML-planner.eu/app/breeding. I link this all the time in breeding videos. If you click or you go to this main page for breeding here, then you can click combos for Bounty Hunter. Want to know what the breeding time is for Sparkler? Boom! Click the breed button. It's 16 hours with VIP. If I take VIP off, it's 20 hours. Very, very nice and simple. Tells you everything you need to know. This is a sign now. Did I get Punwin? Not yet. I'm at 300 pieces. Mar Games has Penguin. I also have Penguin. That's a very random thing to say, but I guess we both have Penguin. Anywho, like I said, I'm gonna hop out for about a couple minutes, and Mar Games is a penguin. Yeah, there might be. Are divines good to be a main dragon? Yes, they're not bad. Say my name, Muhammad. Okay. What was with your recruitment code? Add 2. Anyway, like I said, I will be back in a couple of minutes. BRB, doing something that may or may not be important. So I will be back in a sec. You hear him? You okay, Gandhi? I tried to get the new parrot, but he... Oh, you tapping my arm? Yeah, I tried to get the new parrot, but he just kept hopping back in his cage, so I'll have to show you to him another day. Yeah, you feeling good? Boom. You gonna scream right in the mic? Yeah? Gonna poop on me again? Yeah? This is his favourite toy. If this toy didn't exist, I think he'd actually, like, neck himself. If I hold this toy, he will go anywhere and do anything. No, I don't want him pooping on my phone again. Yeah, you gonna tap your toy? Yeah? Now tap it. This is Gandhi. You gonna tap? Yeah? Tap? Oh, good boy. Yeah, you gonna tap? No, I'm not gonna tell him to say that. Boom. But yeah, I'm hoping that one day the other parrot will come out of his cage because we can hold him and he talks, he does stuff, but getting him actually out of the cage is 90% of the problem. Gandhi just gets on my arm. What's his name, Gandhi? Because he's from a part of India that has that name. How old are you now, Gandhi? How old are you? I think I got him in 2007. So yeah, you're grown up now, aren't you, boy? Yeah. Boom. Cut parrot. I'm gonna assume you meant cute. Cut parrot. Boom. Boom. He does say human words, but he prefers to make noises. Boom. Oh, and yeah, he drowned his toy so many times that it no longer makes these car sounds. So, I'm not sure how he feels about that, but... Aww. Boom. Boom. Whoa. Anything you want to see in the room, bud? Anything you want to see in the room? As long as I bring the toy, you'll come, won't... Oh, you're gonna fall! You're gonna fall! Ah! There you go. I'm also covered in scratch marks now. How old is he again? I think I got him in 2007 because he was my Christmas present. So, yeah, he's getting older now. But I think they live to about 40, 50 years old. So, yeah, where are we going? You wanna go somewhere? You wanna go somewhere? You wanna go on the chair? You wanna go on the chair? No? Yeah? Oi! Don't bite the chair! No! There we go. There you go. What do you think about new streamer? Bird, a new streamer? No, you've already gone down. Why would you do this? No. Gomb. Put him on my shoulder. What happens when I try and put him on my shoulder is he ends up just destroying my hair. Well, do you want to do that? Do you want to try going on my shoulder and then you're going to end up pooping all over my white shirt? Oh? What are you doing? What are you doing down there? Oh, he's licking my fingers again. Alright, Birdo. Do we leave him his new streamer? There we go. I could just have Parrot Cam forever now. Is that all you want? Do you let him fly? He does fly. He could fly if he wanted to, couldn't ya? Yeah. Yeah, we let you touch you now. He never used to let people touch him whatsoever. Yeah, look at you, good boy now. Yeah. Yeah, you good boy, Gandhi. Oh. Hello, Cody. Alright. Shall we finish off the rest of these while the parrot's doing his thing? Do you know Dream and George? I do know of Dream. George not found, not really. But do we continue the rest of these while we're here? What do we get up to? I don't remember doing this team from Magical Survivor. He's fierce. He's angry. He's an angry boy. He may not look like it while he's got the toy, but he is a very angry boy. Yeah, I do pet him. I try to pet him, especially after he never used to let us, so we had to force him to be petted. Le Bob is vibing, indeed. I don't know, I don't get into those scenes really, but I've heard Dream a lot more. Anyway, so, hi, this is my team and I use the best Wonder Acceptance combo. Will it be good for the dungeon? Boom! It's really good for map battles and arena, but what is your opinion? So thinking of using this for dungeon, I would say having Erlang's Void unlocked, just in case they need to use it, would be a good idea. I don't force him anymore. Now he takes it, don't you? But yeah, getting Void unlocked is going to be important. And I can see it potentially working out because again, you've got the Divine, you've got the Ancient element, but you would have to bless with Tinny every single turn at the moment, but at least you do have some water, some earth. So basically it'd just be Loga Ikez attacking on his own, and that's all that he would do all the time. He'd be the only attacker. But for a dungeon team, it's not terrible. So I can see it doing decent things. Noe, thank you. No, the music. Keep going. How did you choose his name? He was from Gandhinagar in India, so that's where Gandhi came from. At least I believe his species is from roughly there, so yes, it makes sense. It did have some level of logic behind it. Is your parrot an ancient or a divine? I don't know, I'll call you a crappy comment after all the problems we had trying to get you to just accept a pet. Yeah. Yeah. That's not a team advice. This is my team. I am unsure if the sigils on my dragons are the best for them. Please check them out. This is from PewDiePie. You think it's Pewds himself? Oh my god, it must be, right? No, I'm not gonna call him the second half of Gandhinagar. You gonna lick? Kissy, kissy. Oh, thank you for the kissy, Gandhi. That's his version of kissing anyway. What did Charizard say? Oh, you're talking about Theo. You might be talking about Theo, however he wants it said. Anyway, moving back to this team here, we have Purity Daredevil, Purity Witchcraft, I guess that's okay, and Purity Wonder. I don't really like running Purity Wonder because you're not really gaining much boost and you're not really gaining much damage, so I would just pick, are you going to make him a Wonder user or are you going to make him a Purity Daredevil user? I'd probably just, I don't know, since he is the Earth Dragon and you've already got 2 Purities, I'd probably put Purity Daredevil on the second one as well, just until you get other options, but third one I'd probably give him Rebirth. Do you like Gryan? What the heck is Gryan? Hey Gandhi, what's Gryan? Do you know who Gryan is? Is it like Brian? Yeah? He says yeah. Okay, I'll believe you. And next one from Lash here, we got 3 legendaries trying to take on these shadow dragons. My team is Valkov, Soldan, and Druid. You would benefit from a divine, my friend. So, this team here, since we don't have any divines or ancients to work with, I don't know why the dragon in first slot has Rebirth, but it should have Purity Daredevil for now. Rebirth isn't going to help in slot 1 that much. Your Rebirth should just be used on the dragon that you're not really doing anything with. And again, the second one has Rebirth, but you benefit so much more from Purity Daredevil on those two at least. Maybe you'd want to give one to Wonder, maybe the Earth User possibly, but you'll probably just be better off with damaging Sigils for now. You don't have the Bless, you don't have the Ancient skill, and you could probably beat that fight easily with Purity Daredevil. Yeah, Gendy's an Alexandrine. He's not a ring neck, he's bigger than a ring neck. And Jet is a Derbian who is basically exactly the same size as him. Isn't he? You've been trying to get on with the other parrot, haven't you? Yeah, he's been trying to attack you a few times. After you went in and swooped his food, yeah? Do you blame him? After you stole his? He went and swooped yours? You're even now. Yeah. Nabil and Silver was buddy. Some of the things that happen in the Discord server. I love it. I love it. There's some of the names. Ryan is Mumbo's friend, the Redstoner. Out of context, that just sounds like utter gibberish. It just sounds like complete gibberish. Anyway, see mine in your stream. So we're actually up to today's post now. I didn't even realise. So we've got this one here. Icy Outlook. Jesus, my knees are starting to hurt, Gandhi. My knees. Can we swap this around somehow? Hello? Yeah, can we swap this around, Gandhi? Hello? Yeah, can we swap this? Ah! Okay, I just dropped my headphones. Can I sit down? Can I sit down, Butter? Bum! You don't need to look at my thighs. Not you, Gandhi. You can look at my thighs if you want, Gandhi. I don't think it benefits you, though. Does it? Look, can you climb up my arm and then we can continue this and you can still be here? Yeah? Did he say gomb? He does say many weird words. It might sound like gomb. Wait, someone's not using epics? Is Bee, Harpy, and Candy Dragon good? No. It's not good, is it? No. No, don't say yes. No. Tell him no. Using less than epics is bad. No, don't do it. Yeah? No. Stop trying to teach him gomb. Where are you going? Oh, is the camera scaring you? The camera scaring you? Oh, you're a little bit shy. Yeah? Yeah? Oh. Oh, no, don't buy the camera. Logitech cameras can be expensive, bud. We don't want to destroy those. Alright, that's the pop filter. You don't want that either. Anyway, you're gonna come down my arm. Come on. Look, if I put the toy here, it'll come. Without fail. It's both his kryptonite and the thing he loves. Oh! Was that a kissy or was that an attack? Ah! I can't believe it. Can you get further up? Can you climb higher, please? Say gomb more. Don't make him say gomb, for goodness sake. Anyway, I'm gonna try and... Ow! You're cutting open my arm! Hey! Oh, of course, you get out of the camera and you start destroying things, yeah? Anyway, I was gonna try and go through this team. Okay, let's attempt this while he's here. Anyway, like I said, we've got this team here. The comment says, blah, 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 see mine. So, I think they'd benefit from putting the Void Dragons in first slot with Purity Daredevil here. Especially since the rare Purity's on the 3rd dragon. I don't know why that's not on dragon number 1. So if they put the rare Purity on, say, Stardust, and put that in slot 1, they'd probably do a lot better. What are you doing to my hair? You mind? Ah! You mind? No. Look, you're the one that pulled the hair out, and now you're gonna end up itchy because the hair's itchy, isn't it? Yeah. Look at him just pulling my hair. Stop! Stop pulling my hair! Ah! See, that's what happens. I'm trying to help people with their teams, brother. What are you doing? He's trying to work out if it's a wig or not. Well, I think he's found out it's not. Jesus, Candy. He might be trying to build a nest. Anyway, like I said, I think if you put that rare Purity on one of the other dragons, like the Stardust, I think that would be infinitely better for this team. And do that alone, keep that going for a while, get some more dragons. That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good, won't it, Candy? Yeah. So, then we've got this one. No comment with this one, but we've got these dragons. Wonder Acceptance on Lava, but no level 6 upgrades. I don't think that's really going to help that much. Main thing is getting these upgraded to level 6, and since Kipo is level 30, you can get the Shadow Element on him, so upgrading, really important. Get some more Sigils. Apart from that, there's not really much else you can do with this team. Because no Bless, obviously. Anubis, Isis, Yolhan. I'm going through everyone else. Did you just bite my ear? Anyway. I'm going to go through everyone's Discord requests first, and then I'll go through any others. Oh, that feels good. Oh, yes. Yeah. Do that again. Oh, that feels good, Gandhi. Do it again, please. Oh, yeah. Ow! 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 That was a bit too hard. You were good until then. That was like a mini ear massage. Ow! You were so close. I think we can perfect that. I think we can perfect it. Yeah. When you were a starter, you had Thief and Harpy? Fair enough. Yeah, there you go. That was some nice massaging again. I like it. How would you put Sigils? Do you think Havoc would be better on Changi? Changi? I guess. Okay, let's have a look at this one in a second. We've got some Ancients, we've got Divine. Lovely, lovely. I think Changi should have Wonder. I think... Oh, actually, no, you use Wiki as the Blesser. Never mind then. A lot of different options with this. Why is he just stopped? Okay. Look, do you want to come down? Because you just keep making a mess. You've cut all my arm open because of your sharp claws. And you've completely demolished my hair today. Look, you're caught in my hair now. You've got no one to blame but yourself. Licking my arm isn't going to help. No. Did you have fun? That's all that matters, isn't it? Did you have fun? Yeah. No. Do you want to go home? No? Look, do you want to get back on the chair? As long as you don't bite the chair, it's fine. Yeah? Anyway, we can leave the parrot there for now. I think you'll be okay. Yeah, you gonna be alright? Anyway, yeah, like I said with this team, Wonder Acceptance, we've got that on the Oya, which I think is not bad. And then we've got Acceptance on the other dragons. Again, that's a good start. But Changi, yeah, I think Changi might actually benefit from the Havoc like they suggested. So, have I seen your beautiful Microsoft Paint team? I don't know if I have. Anyway, yeah, I think giving her Havoc or Witchcraft might actually help you, especially in Dungeon. And then you've got Demi as well that you probably use for healing, I imagine, in the Dungeon. So, Wonder Acceptance on him. Maybe give Demi the blue Acceptance and maybe these three, possibly. I can see why Onyx could be useful as well, but if you're going to go for a dungeon team with healing, obviously, you've got Demi there. So, yeah, overall, I think that's pretty decent. Yeah, I know, Gandy's so cute, isn't he? Look at him. Look at him. Dude's team is menacing. Yeah, there's a lot of ancients here. This is more ancients than I own, so, yeah. Either way. Yeah, if they just change that Havoc like they said, Mass Leech on Momotu, yes. I think putting Mass Leech on Momotu's Ancient, and then, obviously, if you give him the blue Acceptance. Okay there. By giving him the blue Acceptance, then I think would help you in the dungeon. What's got you distressed? Oh, you just shat on the floor, didn't you? Is that why you were screaming? Was that a hard poopy to get out? Yeah? Anyway, now he's pooped himself. We've got Bruh. Wasn't this what was posted before? Yeah, Bruh posted before, so I'm not going to do that one twice. But yeah, we got Ori's team here. I just want to hear some advice on what to do next when I'm done with leveling my team to 45. Rust, Stardust, and Murano. Rust, Stardust, Murano. Yeah, again, I think you can keep going with those dragons for now until you get a Divine or an Ancient. Oh, hello. But I think that'll keep them going for a while. You okay? You want to come back up? And then, at that point, you know, until then, on your Stardust, you could go Purity Daredevil, and then just wipe the floor with the map for a little while using Void. I think that'll probably be the best decision. So if you just go with Stardust Void for a little while in first slot, I do see that the Rust has Wonder Acceptance. And maybe you could put him in third slot, just in case you ever do need the shield, but if you put, like, Purity Daredevil on the first dragon, second dragon, maybe. I don't know, it's kind of weird trying to work with Res and Purity Daredevil, but Purity Daredevil's just really good. So, and they're all the same level, so you shouldn't struggle too much with that. Yeah, Gandhi was so impressed with him pooping himself on stream. Don't tell me you're gonna poop again. No. Maybe he's getting a little bit antsy. Maybe he's getting a little bit antsy. You getting a little bit antsy? Yeah? You wanna go back home? After demolishing my hair and meeting everyone? Yeah? You wanna go back home? Ooh. Okay. Right, well, how about I take you back? You can go and see your friend in the other room. Yep, you're definitely gone. Yep, I'm not leaving you in here. Get out. Get out. If you're gonna poop on me and scream in my ear, you're going. No, don't. No, you've done this to yourself. Sealed your own. Oh, that's a big poop bird. Man, oh man. Oh man. I tried to get the other parrot, but he's just refusing to leave, so I guess I'll try and work on getting him out, and maybe we'll see him next time. Oh, my hair. My poor hair. It's been demolished. Destroyed. Anyway. Coming back, we did that one. We've got Sobble Squad. Hey, I'm back with a new and hopefully improved team. What advice do you have for dragons that can replace these ones I currently have? I plan on my team being a legendary, divine, and ancient. So these are the sigils that they've got. So they've got Wonder Rebirth on their first dragon, which again, I'm not really a fan of. If you're gonna take Purity Daredevil, usually it should be your first and or second dragons. So I would rather have Yuxi in first, and then, because then you can one-shot the first enemy, and then if you really want to use some sort of buff, you can after that. Or you could have two dragons with Purity Daredevil. But getting that level 6 legendary upgrade in case you ever use it might still be useful somewhat. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough early on. Especially when you don't have a lot of options, you don't have tons of sigils, but I do think putting Purity Daredevil as slot 1 and 2 is really important. So even if you do have the Wanda still on Mudkip, the thing is the other dragons don't have acceptance, especially if they're using Purity Daredevil, so they're not going to benefit from it that much. But if this was Dungeon, maybe I could understand you putting it in first, but then Purity Daredevil's bad in Dungeon. Which is why sometimes what's good in Dungeon isn't necessarily what's good in regular fights. But, you know, I'd put Yuxi first, personally. You don't have enough DCP yet for level 6, that's understandable. It's not super important, but it is just one of those things where if, you know, get into the habit of fully upgrading your teams and everything like that. Obviously you don't have it yet, so you can't, but You know, just in case you ever do end up needing to use Legendary, it's worth it just in case. YouTube is her job. It is one of probably, like, technically 3 of my jobs. But depends. I don't really consider it a job. I mean, I do get money from it, obviously, but I feel like when you get to the point where you treat it as purely a money-making mechanism, you just lose all, I don't know, sort of... Lots of people anyway, not all, but most people lose a lot of integrity when it's just about views and clicks, because there's lots of stuff you can do in life to make money. You know, you could become a pole dancer, lots of other various things that you could do like that, but people choose not to. It's like with YouTube making money, there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of shady things you could do, or you could not do that. I don't care enough to... It's not like I've ever been someone that's like, whoa, I need a bajillion viewers and tons of money. That's not why I've ever done it, ever. If Gameloft asked me to work for them, would I? In what way? I mean, I wouldn't have great prospects for the company, but it definitely depends on what you'd be offered. Offer me high enough, perhaps. What did I have to specifically mention? It was the first thing that came to mind. Pole dancer was just the first thing that came to mind. Okay? It was less... It's less garish to say than some of the other things that I could have thought of, okay? Anywho. Omar, I quit playing for a while and just came back, so I don't know anything about sigils. Yeah, you can see this. They've barely got any sigils. But, great thing about this player, even though they've only just returned, they've got 3 divines to work with, in fact. So, obviously, for me, I've been enjoying Nezha plus Erlang Shen. Not everyone has to use that combo. But of the divines they actually have all unique elements. Obviously, except for the divine. This is fantastic. And the only problem with making a full divine team, obviously, is the fact that the divines will all require the same enchantment mats. So that would suck. But think about it. If we were in a world where this person never got any ancients and didn't have legends, they could just use these 3 divines when they're all at the same level, obviously. And that'd actually be a solid comp. Again, if there were no ancients, but man, you're lucky that you have all these unique elements on those divines. That's pretty good. Can I start doing face cam on regular videos? Usually, the bulk of the video is about the actual information in it, which is why I choose not to. And plus, sometimes you just don't want to have to go on face cam for every video. You know? But I would say that they've only got 2 sigils on. Wonder Acceptance, Acceptance on the others. And whichever one... Actually, they'd all be Wonder Acceptance, wouldn't they? Yeah, they'd all be Wonder Acceptance. Except for possibly Fang. Fang possibly would be one that would have Acceptance and probably Havoc, because you'd need some sort of AoE for the dungeon and such. So I'd probably go Wonder Acceptance, Acceptance, Havoc. That would be what I would do if I was gonna go. That would be ideal if you had infinite resources. Obviously, you've got legends here as well. But the divines are just going to be more versatile, and they are right now, than legendaries. So, if you had infinite resources, and you had the final element on Gado unlocked, that's what I would do. But it will cost you a hell of a lot in materials, so... you got to decide what you're going to do, and based on how many materials you're gathering, whether you're going to use one of these legendaries instead. Which, I don't know, but you really do want the healing, because at least then you can do something in the dungeon. I would say you want Gadu. You do want Gadu. And Fang's good for clearing the map, so maybe you just take those 2 and leave out Mizo for a while. You don't really need Void and Mel, but, you know. That's what I'm talking. Super ideal situation, apart from minus the ancient bit, but... yeah, Yamad is not very good. Yamad is not very good. Do you prefer ancients or divines? Both of them have their uses, but the thing is, ancients aren't useful, or not as useful as they could be unless you have a divine. Divines, IMO, more important than ancient. To have a good team, first of all you need the bless, which means you need a divine. Second of all you need an ancient, but second, that ancient comes secondary to divine, because bless is that good. Is Hellion good? He's okay for early on. Well, early-ish on, but he's not fantastic. Anyway, moving on from that one for Omar. We've got Kartik, and they've got all of their sigils here, and they're struggling with this fight, which is 15 levels above them. So what have we got? How many parts are you doing to these live stream videos? Just until we get through everyone's requests. Maybe I'll do more in the future, but mainly this was about getting through all of the remaining requests, speeding through them, and answering everyone's questions. How do you get a divine from a divine event? There's no other way apart from buying Ares, but Ares is really expensive. Anyway, coming back! We have these dragons here, which are all legendaries and epics. That's good, at least we've got epics and legendaries, and for someone that only has 103 dragons, that's not bad. Oh my god, Anubis, Isis, Yolhan, I'm not going to answer it, it's the same question as before. Anyway, we got Silver, Warps, and these guys. I think it seems like they don't have DCP to upgrade their elements, so I would recommend upgrading the elements on these dragons. And what have we got? Earth, Shadow, Plant, Wind, Water, Plant. Just so that I could get some bonus KOs in the dungeon in the meantime, honestly, I would probably end up using Nimmer, the Water Lily, and Loga, because then at least we've got more unique elements, and plus at least then we do have some sort of healing on the team, because if you don't have the good dungeon comps, you're not going to last very long anyway, but at least if you do have some level of water healing, you can last a little bit longer than normal. At the same time, I know that Warps is a higher level. In fact, he's the highest level. So you could also just go with Loga and Silver, but it's basically you need to pick out the ones with unique elements that you have, because legendaries can't bless, they can't do anything special. So just pick out of these the ones that have the most unique elements that you can bring with you, and whether you care about dungeon or not. And, you know, again, Daredevil Cruelty, Daredevil Purity, I think that's fine. I think that's going to do you fine for now until you get a divine. So just keep going through the map, and until you get to the minis on both maps, just keep hiring if you're stuck. I think that's all that you can really do for now. Just keep leveling up, keep hiring if you need to, and keep progressing, getting more stuff. Divine events are super hard. I can't contribute much time to DML and can barely collect enough pieces. Yeah, if you can't be logging in for the resets, you're probably not going to be very successful in terms of getting divines and ancients, unless you get lucky out the chests. But just in case you do get lucky, you know, the possibility's there. So just in case, as long as you know what to do, Wonder Acceptance, 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 that's what's good right now. That could change at any time. If they decided to nerf the Bless, that could change. So this is all right now what's good. We don't know what Gameloft's going to decide between now and next week, so really anything could happen. Graphics card, I've got a 1080. Did you use Witchcraft and Acceptance? Possibly. You can use Witchcraft and Acceptance on Punelin if you want to, for that plant. Depends on what's best for your team and which element you want to use as the attacking element. But Witchcraft's also good with Ancient as well, depending on the upgrade. So, yeah, Witchcraft is decent on Punelin. You just found one of the sticky pads they use on my back? Oh my goodness, I was finding those for days after I had mine. Oh no. Just a normal. I don't have a upgraded. Just a normal. Then we got Windows 10, and this is my team. Should I try and get a legendary, and what epic should I try and breed? So, we've got this, and they're asking, should they get a legendary, and which epic should they breed? Any epic that has unique elements, so not an earth, wind, or fire dragon, because Harpy can work for a good while now. So Harpy could be in first slot with super damaging sigils, second slot you could have another dragon with super damaging, and then maybe you'd have a healer, just in case you needed any additional healing or just the restore. So, yeah, again, because it's so early on, they just need to keep collecting more sigils, opening up premium sigil chests out of the dungeon and things like that. Just keep going with that. But Harpy's a really, really solid early game dragon to have. But whenever you do try and add new epics into your squad, try and give them unique elements, because otherwise you're gonna suffer during castle events and things like that. So, not bad. It's okay, Windows 10. Then we've got Lemonade Dog. Hello, this is my overall team. I haven't got Divine or Ancient, hoping I can get one this event. Yeah, they shouldn't have been on your back. Which question? Which question did you ask, Christelle? What's that thingy called? The thing that gives you a chance to choose between two eggs? Double egg relic? How god is the tribally dragon, quackalakes? It is not god. The only god in DML is Lord Ceremony, praise be to him. Anyway, coming back to this team. They don't have a Divine or Ancient, they said, so they know that a Divine and Ancient would be useful, that's great. And they've got Stardust, they've got Hra. They also have Legends, but they haven't upgraded their final element, so the Legends are kind of useless. Until they actually get a Divine, if they don't want to unlock the third elements on their Legends, they could just use Kimb, the Armadillo, genuinely, because they've actually got almost all unique elements then. They could just use that squad of epics, I think. I don't know why Hra would have Havoc except for energy, but that will gain a lot more usage when energy becomes a lot better at level 6. So does heal. So whenever everything gets upgraded to level 6, everything will be better anyway. I get that he's got Daredevil Havoc for the energy, but I'd prefer them to use Stardust with Purity Daredevil in slot 1, because, you know, Void, so they can zuck it back. So if they put Stardust in slot 1, maybe Hra in slot 2 with the same thing, and then Kim could either shield up, or he could have, I don't know, Witchcraft and Daredevil or something like that, just some high damage sigil stuff. Apart from that, yeah, keep collecting some more stuff. Unless they do decide to unlock the third elements on their Legends, but it doesn't look like they want to for whatever reason. So if they're not going to upgrade and unlock the third element, just use the epics instead. Don't use the legendaries until they are open with all of their elements. So, a 1080, a normal 1080, it's not a TI. I don't think it's a TI, is it? No. And it's not a super, it's just a normal 1080. If you can't read handwriting, my team will be Rust, Tiger, and Stardust. Is this what team advice has devolved into? Witchcraft Acceptance or Purity Daredevil? Stardust. Put the Stardust in first. Purity Daredevil. Again, that's the recommended. And then Rust with Wonder Acceptance. Either you could have him in second or third, and Tiger you could again give the damaging sigils in second slot. Or again, put Rust in second, Wonder Acceptance, shield up, and then Acceptance Havoc. I actually don't mind that for Tiger. But yes, slot 1, put in Stardust with Purity Daredevil, that will help. Yeah, this is Paint DML team planning. Couldn't you have at least made it rainbow coloured? You watch Fundy? No. Should you die or what? What? What do you mean, should you die or what? What? What are you talking about? My team, please tell me if this is a good one and how to upgrade it. I am level 29. I am Alexander, if you remember me. Oh god, look at the Punewin. Another one of these teams where they've barely got commons and they've already got a Punewin. So yeah, this is the problem with people that get these teams early. I believe this person was in the chat earlier. It's like I said, when you get the dragon so early, you're not going to be able to use it straight away. So you need to focus on getting DCP, getting Orpa unlocked fully. And in the meantime, you can use that epic that you've got, Kane. That's going to be okay. You can use him and get some more epics. Right now, you can't really do a whole lot, but use some high damage sigils on your epic and any other epics that you use until you get Orpa unlocked. And then swap to Orpa straight away. It's gonna be cool if there's a new element. Will it though? Will it? Or will it just be a tragic, tragic mess? I reckon it might be a tragic, tragic mess if they do it again, just like it was last time. So this is my updated team, level 109. I took your advice with the meat shield. It works pretty well. I start off with Blessing Sap. So this is what they swapped it to, Dawson. Actually, let's zoom in a bit more. So they've got Tundra with his Wonder Acceptance, and then Pixie, because it's such a low level, rather than having Acceptance, they've given it Rebirth, Evasion. Again, Rebirth, great if it's on your third for a dragon you're not going to use. Wonderful meat shield. I almost said wheat shield. Imagine having a wheat shield. A grain shield. What did you spam earlier? Sometimes I just don't see it. Oh, you didn't actually say it again, okay. You love Dark Ritual? It can help, indeed. But anyway, coming back to this team, yeah, we've got the Wonder Acceptance guy, we've got the Acceptance, that's great. And Sap, again, either you can go with Daredevil Acceptance, which is possible, or you can also go with Havoc on Sap, or Witchcraft. Sap also will benefit greatly from Witchcraft, depending on upgrade that you're using. But, you know, if you've got Mass Leech, then that's going to buff everyone. If you've just got the singular buff, then Witchcraft's actually pretty good with that one. But, again, the ordering is either you start off with the Bless, so that you get bonus HP, or you start off with Ancient, so then that buffs everyone, and then the enemies either miss, or they might take out the Pixie, and then after that, when you bless, the Bless will get buffed from the Ancient skill. So that's how you finish off the map super quick, but swapping between those two, you know, that's up to the player what they want to do. And having that third as a meat shield, that's great, and it does mean that they're not wasting food on a legendary that they're not using. So this is basically my ideal sort of comp. Obviously, different dragons, different things to do, but this is what they've got, and this can easily take you to endgame through heroic mode and everything. You haven't played since the Water Ancient event after I logged in and I only missed 2 resets but still didn't get Homala. How are you? How is RNG handling you? Same as always. Same as always. Always as RNG is. I want to leave that paint description up. So then we've got Sia. Last time I've played this game is last year, January. Ooh, nice. We have an Erlang Shen. I would say unlock his final element just so that you can get some bonus stats on there. But Erlang Shen, slot 1, Wonder Acceptance. I can see you've already started doing that. Fantastic. Looks like they're low on sigils, so whenever you can get 2 more acceptances, that'd be good. And then you could use a few of these dragons, I guess, in the meantime. You could use Ruth, because he does have shield if you want a shield. And you might end up wanting a healer. I can see your only healer here is the rare. So if you can get an epic with a heal in the meantime, that might help, because you're going to end up having to upgrade temples anyway, so you're going to need more than that. But if you can get a good healer, if you could get an ancient healer, Yolhan even, that would be pretty good, maybe. But yeah, if you want to, because you're going to have, at the very least, the Bless, you're going to have Metal, you're going to have Shield, possibly, if you use Ruth, well, spy, I guess, as well. So I can see potential for a decent dungeon scrounging, especially if you get the Ancient. There's a few things you can do, but first of all, Wonder Acceptance first slot, that'll be good. And then you can sort of play around with the others. Depends on what you want to do, but get some more dragons, get some more breeds in, and see what you've got in, say, a month's time. That'll probably be best for you. Never gonna watch live ever, TBH. Why? Again, I'm not a massive fan of Garden. If you want to use Garden, you can. Same with any advice I give, I can say this is probably going to be a better decision. This dragon's probably not that good, but if you really, really want to use it, you can still use it. You can't log into Discord, you might have to verify your email. Always remember, you might have to verify. I can one-shot first dragon, but then I get destroyed by the Legion. What should I do? Again, I did give advice to Zemi earlier, but I'm going to reiterate in case they don't see that part of the video. Again, give the Hypno Wonder Acceptance. Give the other two Acceptance. This fight will be over easy. If they just make that change with the Wonder Acceptance and swap them around, easy fight. They're only, well, they're more than 10 levels ahead, but they can easily do it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Because they say I can one-shot the first dragon. So what you could do, even, you could leave the Purity Daredevil on the first dragon, one-shot the first dragon, and then Wonder Acceptance on Hypno, and buff the second dragon, possibly, and you'll buff himself. So then you've still got 2 dragons left alive. There's also a possibility, it's not the ideal, but you can also do that to beat this particular fight. But you shouldn't be struggling with dragons 10 levels above you when you've got a Divine. Go look for a tutorial. About what? Learn how to use Discord. Oh, are people struggling with learning how to use the app? Oh no. My Dragon Mania good or not, that's not team advice, so I'm not going to do that. It's me again. These are my epic dragons. Oh god, did he post them individually? Which should you add to your team? Again, you're not going to be able to use Agent early on because it's got Void. So until you get that unlocked, don't use it. The other two, you can use those. But I think that means that we are through all of these requests, unless I've accidentally skipped some. But, you know, I tried to go through every single team advice request. And there's a reason that we requested them in a particular way. Essentially, I wanted people to show me their full teams, what they are using. Because sometimes people might get the ordering wrong of their sigils. And it's important to understand why they're doing it. Because they might completely misunderstand what a particular sigil does. So that's why rather than just taking individual pictures of your dragons, showing it in the team select is much better, because then we can see what we can work with, what sigils you have on everyone, and then we can make recommendations from there. So, I skipped Hopeful, did I? I don't think I did I? I tried to go back to where I was at the start, or at the end of last live stream, but I might have accidentally skipped one person or so. But I definitely did swap nils. Anyway, if anyone did get skipped, you know, they can contact us in the Discord server or anywhere else, and I'll be happy to go through it again. If I think I went through it at least once, but here we go. We've got the Sentin who's posted this. What should, or I don't know what to do for my team. And this is another player that seems to have an Ancient really early on. So Wonder isn't really doing much on Gelb. Because this is another situation where you might have an Ancient, but you're not going to unlock their full potential until you actually have a Divine to bless. So Gelb could just have lots of high damage sigils. Obviously, they can use Wonder, because if they use Mass Leech, then they can buff everyone. How useful is the buff on its own? Does it actually justify giving everyone an acceptance? Possibly. Possibly, but just the fact that he's an ancient, I'd probably just use him as my lead destructor. That's probably what I would do. Just like I did with Harpy on my other account, I'd probably just use him as a lead destructor until I got a divine in. And also, you want to be making sure that you've got unique elements on there, of course, but you might want a healer at some point in there, but you might want to reserve that for a divine. So, I would say for now, since you are quite early on, get more sigils, see if you can get a divine in the near future, but for now you can keep progressing in the map with what you have. Either you can try 2 damaging sigils, because I don't think the Rebirth's going to help, but you know, I think it's the fact that you just don't have many sigils on you. So get some more sigils, open some more chests, like premium sigil chests if you can. You know, they come every week to every 2 weeks in the dungeon. Open up some of those, see what sort of sigils you get, and see where you can go from that point. Early on it is a struggle, it is with sigils, but eventually you'll get more and more and more, and you'll keep getting them, and then you can start choosing really selectively. Is there a sigil that boosts status effects? Chance like the stun on lightning, not the chance, no. The only one that does that is really witchcraft, because obviously it improves the DOT damage, but it doesn't change the likelihood of something happening, which I think would be an interesting sigil, but I also don't know how they'd balance it. Because if you could just guarantee stun every turn, that would be pretty OP, wouldn't it? The only way to get divine is from the event. Yeah, either you buy Aries in the shop, or you get them from divine events. What is the strongest dragon? Technically, there's no single strongest. A lot of people try and say that the divine ancient dragons, like Frosk, and the metal one, and the water one, they say that those are the strongest ones. But it does depend on how you use them in your team. Completely depends on the team. But anyway, that is DML, not TML. That is the DML Team Advice channel. And that took us, what, 3.5 hours? That's not bad. I think we got through a lot more today than we did last time. I think last time I was a little bit more waffly, but this time we just hunkered down, focused. We got the bird in here to poop on the floor, which is actually still on the floor. And we eventually got through most of it. My hair is, probably 20 years older now with the amount of damage that that bird has caused. But resist status effects would be good. Possibly. Possibly. But, you know, I guess I'll do one more check through of DML, but we finally got part 2 of DML Team Advice / DML Team Coaching done today. So, for once, when I was like, yeah, I'm sure I'll do it next week, and I just ended up not doing it. No, we did actually get it done. Yeah, I forgot to clean up the poop. My arms are now red. You probably can't see it properly, but they are covered in marks where his claws, when he's trying to grab on, Gandhi grabs on quite hard. The other parrot doesn't, but Gandhi grabs on really hard, and then he just leaves marks everywhere. Is acceptance good with bless? Yes, hell yes. And healing is useful with healing. Do you know around when the next advice stream will be? Well, it depends. Now that I've gotten through all of these, like hundreds and hundreds of requests, we can just keep doing them in the Discord server now. Because at any time, when I've gone through this, even in the Discord server, anyone that needed advice immediately, they also had the option of, oh, Dawson, you don't need the synergy. The synergy's not as important technically. You could try and mess around with a few things, though. I get that synergies can be useful sometimes, but it depends on the situation. But, you know, whenever you want an immediate response, you can post your team picks, and then in the DML chat, you could also post straight away, like, hashtag or @quacks. Can you help me with my team question? And then I'll help you straight away. Everyone had the capability to do that, even when I wasn't going through these on live stream. So then anyone that does need immediate help can get immediate help, or close to, whenever I'm actually around. That is, I can't guarantee that every waking minute of my life is spent on Discord, of course, but the times I am around, I do try and respond. So anyone that does need that, just keep that in mind. Let's feed up this dragon just so that we can get this cocoon quest stuff. Look, we've nearly got caterpillar already. Lovely. Yeah, don't ping Slacks. Slacks is not me. Slacks also probably, I don't know, he might be able to help. I don't know. I feel like he tunes out all the DML stuff apart from ceremony speak. Do you think you'll get the Pume Dragon, and if you do, will you use it? I think we've got a really good shot at getting Pume. I think we've got a really good chance. Let's get to this, tile. Luckily, game was nice with our rolls here. So, oh, 10 pieces as well, lovely. But yeah, essentially I'm at 311 pieces of Pume right now, 101 golden chests opened, 166 purples. We've still got bonus event currency to use. So we are on track to get Pume through both pieces and through opened chests. So it depends on what the drops are going to be like. If we have to go for guaranteed chests, if I don't miss resets, we should be fine. If we get it through pieces, lovely, then I don't have to worry about them. So, it looks like you might get him probably in like the last couple of days, from what it looks like. Live by ceremony, main ceremony, max out ceremony. I will. Next level 100 plan is for God to be upgraded. You wish there were more ways to gain season points? Yeah, I do wish that there were as well, because they didn't notify anyone that this Dragon Master Pass was going to be coming out. Luckily for me, I'm nearly done. Actually, the only benefit I gain is at 7.6, so yeah, I'll probably end up getting to there and then not bothering, but only 5 days left. But yeah, Jason, hashtag free Apollo, we still have those. I need to change them. I need to change those stickers / emotes. But anyway, that's where I'm up to in all the events at the momento. Always make sure you collect your ruin stuff, because even though it does upgrade the level, if you can keep up with the pace of these ruins getting upgraded, you do get lots of bonus gems. And I do like me some bonus gems, so always keep it in mind. Always make sure you're collecting if you can keep up, and that's a good way to get lots and lots and lots of bonus gems. You love ceremony? Lovely. Divines are hard to get. They were never particularly easy. Apollo was the easiest, one of the easiest divines to get, aside from calendar event divines like Hypnos and Erlang. Because they were super easy to get, but obviously they stopped doing those. Oh wait, free divines? No, we can't possibly do that. No! No! We'll lose money! Oh no! Cupcake looks tasty. I guess a little bit. Not as tasty as little Marshy Poo though. Oh, look at him go! Is spring cherry the best food? In terms of production, yes. If you want the best production food per hour, it is 1 hour spring cherries. But that's only true if you're logging in every hour to collect it. If you're not, then the squarey berries, which are 6 hour, are better than that. But it does depend on how many or how much time you waste or miss between planting the spring cherries. Because if you're here every hour, you're going to generate a lot of food. But most people aren't going to be here on the dot every hour, so that's why a lot of people opt for the squarey berries instead. You're on the exact middle point of the dragon collector points? Ooh. Nice. As soon as I started playing DML on a brand new account, Apollo was out. Ah, so lucky. So lucky. Yeah, that's what I did on my Android account as well, actually. You need any divine TBH. Yeah. That's what it's like when you don't have any divines. You just need a divine, because divines are they're just too good at the moment with their bless. They are just too good at the moment. Luckily, I've got 4 Apollos. Not that I'll ever use them, but we've got 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-3, and 3-4. I might do that as like a see how many times you can say the names of your Apollos in a row without making a mistake. 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4. 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4. Changing between the 3 is the hardest part. Is there anything higher than level 160? Nope. I used to stream sometimes for like 12 hours a day. Depends on the game though. Get one more dragon for that 600. Yep, one more. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be one of my old favorites, Caterpillar? It may be. That'd be cool actually, getting one of my old favorites, Caterpillar, as number 600. Wouldn't that be nice? Hello, it's time. What's your highest level dragon? Max, like all my others. Like, where are my dragons? Here they are, they're all my dragons. Again, the Purity Daredevil is just thrown on dragons, and some of the other sigils, like the sigil on Joko, don't worry about that, and the sigil on Saini, don't worry about that. I was just playing around with dungeon score multipliers in terms of the bonus changes that they gave. So I would not normally have Evasion and Rebirth on them. They would normally have Havoc and Witchcraft. But I don't want to swap them around because I'd have to pay more trinkets and I'm stingy. Do you think DML would add a feature where you can donate card pieces to people? Probably not. Rename Silver to Hentai. No, it's Silver. Silver's staying as Nezha. And Andy? Where even is Andy? Oh, Andy's here. There you go. You want me to pet Andy? There you go. He got pet. How do you get Autumn? You just gotta hope that the dungeon chests give you it, or you open 15 purples. Those are your only options. You actually have Caterpillar? Good. I just happened to miss him the last couple of times he was out. But anyway, that is pretty much it for DML team advice. So, you know, we went through everyone's teams, gave advice, did what we needed to. Hopefully people benefit from some of what was given today. You know, I don't gain anything from, except for hopefully helping people improve and getting further in the map. So I do wish the best for everyone who needed some help. I do hope it works out. And if something seems to not be working, well, you can always try out a few different things. And again, you can hire up to mini anyway. So even if you do get stuck, you can just hire up to a certain point. It's past mini where the problems start happening. You see Turtle a good epic. He's okay for really early on. You haven't played in 2 years because your account. Understandable. Yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Again, I appreciate you being here. At least you got to see a bit of the parrot. Destroy my hair. Probably gonna have a shower after this. God knows what he's licked into my scalp. You got Autumn in the second dungeon chest. Ah, very nice. You didn't even have Andy's brother? Wow. Wow. Yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. You know, I do appreciate you all joining me here today. And maybe we'll do another one in future. Depends on how many requests we get in the team advice channel. But I'm glad that we finally got through them. Oh boy, I'm probably going to get back to playing Persona 5 Strikers after this. After I eat, because I haven't eaten or drunk anything yet, apart from 0 sugar Fanta. It's not good. You should drink water. I should drink water more. What's my parrot's name? Gandhi and Jet/Ella. He goes by a couple of names. Gandhi only goes by Gandhi, however. It's Gandhe. G-H-D... What? What? I can't English. That is wrong. G-H-E-G-A-N-D-H-I. Jesus, that was a brain fart moment. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that's a... Yeah, I should play League. I used to play League years ago. I haven't touched it in about 2 years. Why are Ancient Dragons more powerful than Divines? Technically they're not. Because you need a Divine to make Ancients more powerful. So I would actually argue Divines are more powerful or more important. But Ancients do buff Divines as well. So they sort of have to coincide with one another to make the best team. You can't have a good team without a Divine or an Ancient. You need both. What is the best epic? There isn't really one. We'll eagerly await next time. Lovely, Aben. I know you don't remember, but it's me, Texan. I do remember you, Texan. You changed your YouTube name. Long time no see. Does anyone play Asphalt? Oh, a few people do play Asphalt. You might be able to find a few of them in the Discord chat, actually, in the general section. Who was talking about Asphalt? Silver and I think Adit were talking about Asphalt not long ago. So a few people do. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to leave you guys to it. So thanks for joining me. Hopefully the stream VOD will be available if you want to go and watch back. Or anyone that only just tuned in can see the rest. Is Pewwing good to use on a team? Depends on the team. But yes, have fun. I hope to see you again soon. And I'll see if I can get the new parrot next time. So, see ya! Bye-bye! Bye-bye!